not an exhibition, but the way a Super Bowl feels, or like a one stadium, which is okay because it's our first taste of Chiefs football in a long time. First look at Simmons. First look at the offense now without Rashee Rice, so we won't get the full thing. But, year 2, Xavier Worthy, slim down Travis Kelce. First look at the defensive line or the safeties without Justin Reed, any of it. We going to finally have our first overreactions or whatever it is. All that stuff starts tonight, 7 o'clock on YouTube. Obviously, locally, it'll be on 41. And you can hear it right here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football. The Royals will be over in the Fan AM if you want to catch some baseball as well. But, yeah, man, it's good. Feels good. Football's back.
Yeah, I love it. This is the best time of the year. Everybody's in the office. There's more energy in the office. Everybody's excited to talk about their bets a little bit, fantasy football, all of that. We're going to go through the show a little bit later on and talk about just how we see, of course, it all playing out later on in the season, not just tonight, but ultimately as we gave our 7 playoff teams in the AFC, NFC yesterday, we'll narrow this thing down to the AFC, NFC title game, Super Bowl picks. It's also a Fan Club Friday on a game day. We don't get this ever. I feel like one other time, maybe. Oh, we were off the day they played on Black Friday, so this might be
maybe just once.
Is this like the first one? Unless you want to count we don't do them on Thursday, so this might be the first ever game day Fan Club Friday. We have extended an offer. That's all I can say. We've extended an offer to Carrington Harrison to join us for Fan Club Friday. We'll see if he accepts. Him and I have had a week-long beef at this point in time. I heard yesterday he was throwing out more stuff. I think he's going to show up in the 1 o'clock hour.
What did he say about you yesterday?
I don't know. KUMU?
If he wants to back up the talk, I think he should show up for.
I agree. He better show up at 1 o'clock.
I think he should show up.
All this discussion.
I'll tell you right now, he better not say you're afraid to go to Columbia and then no show this show. Because then he's a coward.
Facts.
If he's not willing to come on this show at 1, Carrington officially deemed, red rubber stamp on the head, coward. If he doesn't show up today at 1 o'clock. So I hope we see him then, so that we don't have to, I think, properly call him that outside of it.
I think he'll show. I think he'll show up. Looking forward to having CDOT.
As long as there's a drink for him, just make sure there's a drink for him and CDOT will be ready.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll drink a beer though, but we'll have something for him. You guys can hit us up on the Jays.
Like you're gonna give him like a Kool-Aid pouch or something like that.
Well, Capri Sun, maybe a Capri Sun or something. I don't know. 913-586-7965 is the Jays Southland Tow Service text line. Video stream up and running. Please ignore our producer's clothing attire today. We apologize.
We just won't put him on camera.
Yeah, he's not allowed to be on camera.
But
not allowed to be on camera.
Let me get 10 seconds right now where it is a single producer shot.
Yeah.
Why do you always put the orange hoodie underneath the jersey?
Because it's chilly outside.
It is Red Friday in Kansas City. Cody's rocking his Super Bowl one of the Super Bowl champion hoodies. I obviously got some Chiefs red on.
I'd like to remind people that even though they didn't win this one, they have won many.
Yeah, and Drew is rocking his
Joe Burrow jersey.
Let's go,
Joe Burrow. His Joey jersey.
Joe Shiesty.
Gosh.
I still think that's a bad nickname.
Chris Jones calls him that all the time, man. I love it.
It feels like if Chris Jones is calling it, he's doing it as an insult, though.
He said he loves playing again. He said he loves playing on the same field as him. He loves playing with Joe Burrow.
Yeah. So let's get into how tonight's going to go. Some quick thoughts
season, maybe.
And record for the year. I mean, in general, for tonight's game, look, it is game number 1, but you start with the divisional opponent. I mean, if you do want to set the tone, I've talked all offseason about just the narrative stuff, but I'm talking for the division, not what the national pundits are saying, but truly for the division. Like, the Chiefs have won this thing for 10 years in a row. And if you want to push even closer to passing the Patriots and what they did in the AFC East,
one of the things it
does start tonight against the Chargers team that for years people have said, hey, they're going to get you. They're going to get you. This year, I think more people are on the Broncos maybe being the team that's going to get them. But still, last year, the Chargers were ahead of schedule. Now, what's the next leap look like? They go out and draft a young rookie running back that I think as the season goes on could be a problem. I don't know what it'll be tonight against the Chiefs. I know you're a little concerned about the run defense given with not having some interior guys that they had a year ago. But I think both Herbert and Mahomes are going to have great games tonight. Like this is somebody that I know was once in the top 10 conversation, clearly is not a top 10 quarterback right now, Justin Herbert, but he still has an opportunity to go out there and he's more than capable of going out there and torching you for a given game. He's had some good games against Kansas City. So I want to see who else steps up, if anybody, for the Chargers. The Chiefs have done a nice job on McConkey with McDuffie, but who's the next guy you got to worry about? Is it the vet Keenan Allen going to roll back the clock a little bit tonight?
He's had some good games against Kansas City, too. I guess a lot of that probably depends on your confidence in the secondary, and your confidence in the secondary also relates to your confidence in the pass rush. I don't love the Chargers' weapons. It's Keenan Allen turning back the clock, Quentin Johnson, who can't catch, or Ladd McConkey, who's the only decent wide receiver.
Or Quinn Johnson figures out his career.
Yeah, I mean, he might be done in 5 years. He might be a backup fourth wide receiver for a team in a couple of years. He did not. So either he's taken a leap forward or he's not. Now, look, here's the truth. There's one thing we know about Harbaugh-led Chargers teams. This game is more likely, even though I'm going to predict a higher scoring game, it's more likely to be a grinded out game than it is watch these two teams light it up. It's more likely, truthfully, at 2017 tonight than it is at the score I'll eventually predict because it's the first game and I want some damn points, like last night's game had at least for a half. Yes, I'm a little bit worried about the things. Look, there are real things like any team. You could say the Chiefs don't have enough defensive line depth. I wouldn't argue with you. You could say I've got questions in the secondary and whether or not Christian Fulton is a good fit. We don't know that yet. You could even say I'd like to see Joshua Simmons play an NFL snap against a starting NFL defensive end in an actual NFL game before I make a determination that he's the goods. The fun thing about Simmons is we will pay attention for all of 10 plays. And if you do not notice Josh Simmons for 10 plays, then I'll try to never think about him again and hope that I don't even have to worry about it for the remainder of the rest of the season or for the rest of the game. He is only the kind of person you pay attention to in the beginning, Gold.
Well, that's how it should be with an offensive lineman. We should not notice these guys unless they're putting someone on their ass on a big play. That's the only time we should be talking about linemen. In Kansas City, we've talked about offensive linemen way too much. That's how bad it's been at the tackle spot. So, yes, I hope that that's not something we're even focused on, as you said, by the end of the first quarter or so, or it's because we're noticing just how much time Mahomes has, and wow, there's stuff open down the field. I mean, we all know the things we want to see tonight. I don't know if we're going to see all of them. We want to see them connect early or at some point down the field to Worthy or Thornton or whoever, frankly, on the ground. Down the field, 30-plus yards, big play, once or twice, connect. That'll be something I think every single person listening right now is hoping to see. I don't know if it happens tonight or not, but that's what we're hoping to see. We're obviously hoping to see Josh Simmons go out there and dominate so we're not talking about him much the rest of the game. That's all the hope. I'm actually really excited for somebody that yesterday mentioned the revenge tour. That was Isaiah Pacheco. You know, I'm very bullish tonight on Pacheco's potential performance. I do think it was a big deal that he just had his first training camp healthy since his rookie year. I'm not saying he's going to go have 1,200 yards this season. I'm not saying he's going to rush for $140 tonight either. He might just have a nice 70 yards rushing and a touchdown. But I'm bullish on him tonight. I like his over rushing. I think there's a chance he finds the end zone twice tonight. I really do. That's a player I know we'll give our best bets later on in the show. But I do think Isaiah Pacheco is in for a very nice night in Brazil.
It's really tough sometimes because in the NFL, things move so fast. Essentially, we haven't seen healthy Isaiah Pacheco in what feels like a year, right? Even the last few games we got him last year, Gold, that wasn't normal Isaiah Pacheco. That was Isaiah Pacheco coming off an injury, who is still having to share the job with Kareem Hunt. My stance has always been that if he is healthy, it's not a timeshare, maybe down near the red zone, or maybe on 3rd and 1 where Kareem Hunt has shown a little more regular ability to be consistent in those areas. But as the every down back, Isaiah Pacheco, the last time he was fully healthy in an NFL season, looked like a very good NFL starting running back. I'm not trying to make it out to be he's Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley, and McCaffrey's already hurt again, I think that he popped up on their injury report last minute.
Calf injury. Oh boy, he's gonna have to take a trip to Germany again.
Get his platelets spun or whatever the hell he does when he's over there. I'm not trying to claim he's one of the better backs in the NFL, but he is firmly like a 10 to 12 ranked guy when healthy and doing the job. And it felt like he was getting ready to like burst onto the scene a little bit more, like running backs can in year 2 and year 3, and then he suffered the injury and couldn't do it. So the offense is obviously the thing that we want. Like, if I got to see Patrick Mahomes throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and one of those touchdowns was 60 yards down the field, and there's no Rashee Rice, can you imagine how hard it will be to temper down the expectations for the offense after that? And so much of that goes back to the first thing we were saying, Gold, is if they protect Patrick Mahomes, I anticipate their ability to score points to be a lot easier. That's not crazy. Drew, I think I asked you even once, like, do you think it's more important to have, if you could have the number 1 wide receiver unit in the NFL, like just the best collection of guys, not like 4 Jamar Chases, just the best receiving unit in the NFL, or the best offensive line in the NFL for Patrick Mahomes, which would you choose? The other one gets to be 15th best. 15th best offensive line or 15th best weapons.
Yeah, no, I think the weapons is still what most people are going to pick. And
I think the offensive line might be the correct answer.
Right. And I think in Kansas City, we are going to probably lean more towards the O-line just recently because of how bad it has been. I think it depends on what era of your organization you're in. If you talk to someone that's in a market where their O-line has not been a problem for 5 years, they're going to say, oh, no, give me the weapons because the offensive line takes care of itself. If you're in a market like Kansas City over the last, even though they won Super Bowls,
There's
over the
actually
last,
a perfect answer for this.
Like if you're someone that's been dealing with O-line problems, you're going to put way more of an emphasis on the O-line and think it's more important. I agree with you. It is important. I just think you get basically spoiled with great O-line play that you forget about it. And that's what's happened in some other cities recently. In Kansas City, everybody's been focused on the O-line for years now because it's been a problem.
I think as a Chiefs fan, you should want the better wide receiver room because Patrick Mahomes is a good enough quarterback to overcome it with a full, healthy wide receiver room.
I think he'll overcome. I think he can throw the ball to anybody. If he can stand upright.
I understand that, but people act like they don't have 2 All-Pros on the offensive line. I think it's great. They have 2 All-Pros on the offensive line. The offensive line was better than half of the league last year. I know the tackle play wasn't, but the offensive line as a performance was better than half the league last year. If they have a full wide receiver room that's healthy, which we haven't seen the last couple of years, that's good, then I think if you're a Chiefs fan, you should say, I want the wide receiver room because Patrick Mahomes is good enough where even if he has bad offensive line play, he's good enough to get around all of the trouble
He has
and
to
make
this
plays.
Point, but aren't you curious to see the other side? He's been playing with mediocre to bad offensive line play for 2 years. He's good enough to get to a Super Bowl and win half of them over the last 2 years.
I understand, but in moments that we've seen the offensive line be, the offense has not looked that great, where the defense has carried them multiple times the last 2 years. I think if you have the offensive line that is, what did you say, the 15th? If they have a 15th ranked offensive line and a top 5 wide receiver core, I would take that 10 times out of 10.
I'm
times out of 10.
Interested that you said that, knowing that Cincinnati is kind of in that spot.
You also have to recognize that the Chiefs also have a top 5 defense, so I think that also plays a role in that.
I guess I'm not asking a question based on the defense.
So this is an offensive question. I think if you have a top 15 offensive line, I am 1,000% taking that crew.
I will say I'm excited to stop talking in like hypotheticals and start talking
for
about
6.5, 7 months. Yes.
Actual games.
We're here.
I'm sick of talking about like, what if Josh Simmons left him upright? Can I just watch him leave him upright tonight?
This is what's
and then
fun.
we get to make those determinations based on where they are. We got to find out if Xavier Worthy can take a leap forward. Because I think because of the way the season ended and the playoff numbers, I think in everyone's brain, Xavier Worthy was like a 1,000-yard guy last year. He finished the regular season with like 630 yards. There is still a leap to take for him now because in the postseason he had like 400 yards receiving. It absolutely feels that way. But it's like, I kind of want to see it in practice. Tonight, we actually get that in practice. I'm praying the field's okay, but,
Yeah, that better not become a huge story. That'll frankly tick me off based off of them having a full year to correct the issues from last year. If you're going to play these games internationally, get your field figured out. And I hope the NFL did this go around. And I hope that's not a huge story when we come in on Monday and we're not complaining about that. And I hope Chargers fans aren't blaming that for why they lose or something. I don't want any of that to be a factor in the game tonight. Coming up in 15 minutes, we will talk briefly about the Royals with Jake Eisenberg after a massive win yesterday. And go figure, guess who?
2 games back, all of a sudden.
Guess who hit a game-winning home run for them? Bobby Wood Jr., of course he did. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But I wanted to continue on the Chiefs end before we get to Cowboys-Eagle, and that is we've all given our kind of perspectives on how we think the game could go and how we think the division could go. But what's your final submission for the record in 2025? I know when the schedule came out, we did it real quick. Everybody kind of, all right, win, loss, win.
If you made me like with a pen, quickly do it.
But text line as well. Put it down on paper.
You now know the Rashee Rice suspension, too. Last time
we do now know he's out for the first 6. What is your prediction for the Chiefs' 2025 record? I also want the seed prediction. We kind of did that yesterday, I guess, a little bit.
I did say they're going to be the number 2 seed in my mind.
Okay, so I have them at 13-4. I thought about 14 when the schedule came out, but now I know it's a 6-gamer for Rashee Rice, and it's a very difficult 6-game stretch. 13-4, to me, that is more than enough to win the AFC West because I don't believe any other team in the West is capable of getting to 13 wins. I just don't. So 13 to me guarantees that you don't even need a tiebreaker or anything. And to me, that's a 2 seed. It puts you in play to push the Bills for the 1, but I think the Bills potentially get the tiebreaker with a win because they usually beat the Chiefs in the regular season, or the Bills are just in such an easy division that they get to 14 wins themselves. So Chiefs 13-4 this year, including a win tonight against the Chargers.
I will say it is not an easy schedule. It lightens up, I think, by their standards pretty significantly after the bye week, where they at least get the Colts, the Cowboys. We'll see where they're at by then. They were pretty good last night. The Texans, who are kind of like a medium-level NFL team, Titans, and so on. I thought really hard about it. I almost went to 12-5, knowing the 6-game suspension, because I think Rashee Rice is going to cost you one game. I don't think it'll be like they don't have any wide receivers. I just think if you knew over a 6-game stretch, if I said, all right, 6 games, they have Rashee Rice, I might say 5-1. I might say 4-2. But whatever the other version is, it is one less win without Rashee Rice in my mind. So I ended up at 13-4 as well. That's over their win total. And I do still firmly believe, and the reason why I went the win total so high, I think it'd be easy to say 11 or 12 if you were outside of Kansas City, is I think the roster's better. On aggregate and as a whole, I think the offense is in a better, I think that the roster is better than last year's roster. Last year's roster won 15 games with an also very difficult schedule. Yeah, I think they'll lose some, but I think they'll, and look, it could go higher than that if they beat LA tonight and then take care of Philadelphia at home the next week. Then I'm going to be really thinking the win total might jump up there. But I got them at 13-4 as well. Winning the AFC West, finishing as the number 2 seed. I think it'll be a tie break is the problem.
You and I are the
maybe
same.
Losing to the Bills in the regular season, they're both 13-4, and they get the number 1 seed.
Okay.
I'm going to say 12-5. They're the 2 seed. Significantly better team, but to your point, Cody, the schedule is. It feels like they're just going to drop some games just because they were so good in 1-score games. That luck didn't go the same way for other teams that have had it in years past to the following year. So I think that's kind of a similar storyline. I do think it's interesting. I think the Chiefs fans are going to be freaking out a little bit.
Look at this smile. Look at this smirk and smile. Look at that. I mean, you guys should have seen.
So happy.
Just all of a sudden, he couldn't even get the words out of his mouth. He started laughing and smirking. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
I think y'all will be freaking out. They'll be 3-3 after 6 games. They'll be 5-5 after 10 games, and then they'll go on a hot streak, and they will win the final 7, and they will be the hottest team entering the postseason.
So he thinks the final 7, they'll beat the Raiders, Broncos, Titans, Chargers. I mean, that looks like 4 games.
5-5.
Texans, Cowboys, and Colts.
The Chiefs will be the hottest team in the league going into the playoffs this season, I think.
5-5.
They will be the hottest team.
Though. So what were the? I'm just curious. What are the 5 wins and 5 losses in the first 10?
Oh, let me pull up the schedule real quick.
5-5.
So Chargers, Eagles, Giants, Baltimore. I'm going to guess that you have them losing to probably Eagles and Baltimore out of those 5.
Yes, so they win tonight. They lose against the Eagles. They beat the Giants. They lose to the Ravens. They beat the Jags. They lose to the Lions, beat the Raiders, lose to the Commanders.
So you have them losing to any good team. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's been some teams in the league that have been that way.
Okay.
Including the Chargers.
All right.
And then they get hot, and they're the hottest team entering the playoffs. Other people, hang on. Other people are saying 11-6. They think they're hitting the under, which I think is crazy.
Can I point out, this is the thing.
I agree.
This is the thing that I do think people miss a lot, and they're missing this on the Chiefs, too.
Can I make another side bet with you, Drew, that they don't go 5-5? I really want to make this bet.
No.
Well, okay. All right. I tried.
You made an effort. I think that this is the Chiefs
I'm not betting that.
The Chiefs have played a difficult schedule, a first-place schedule against a lot of great teams every year, and they win no matter what. The team they play tonight, the Chargers, I actually pointed this out to Gold yesterday, and the Bengals, whose defense stunk against backup quarterbacks last year. Can I tell you who the Chargers beat last year? You want to talk about a team that's more ripe for regression based on schedule? It's them. Their wins last year, the Chargers. They were an 11-win team. You're like, well, that's a good football team. Here's who they beat. The Raiders and the Panthers, 2 stinky teams. They beat the Broncos twice. I'll give them credit there. That was a good football team. Saints, Browns, Titans, Cincinnati, who was not a very good Cincinnati team, especially during the time they beat them. Atlanta and the Patriots. Is there a weaker win grouping out of an NFL team than what the Chargers did last year? Like that 11 wins, I'm just saying, could be falsified defensively just based on the idea of who they face. But no, I don't think they're going 5-5 to start this.
I think Mac thinks they only, if I remember right, on Monday, Mac and I talked about this a little bit. Mac thinks they only win like 7 or 8 games. Like the Chargers. Yeah.
I was like, Chiefs?
I was going to say, what are we
he's going to want to admit that.
If you look at their roster's not good. Like defensively, their best player is
I think they're the 3rd best team in the division.
Their best player is an aging Derwin James, probably, is their best player on defense.
I think the Chargers are worse than the Broncos. We've been saying that for a month or so. I think the Broncos are clearly the second best team in this division. So, I don't know if the Chargers are winning 7. I think they're probably like a 9-win team. 7 would, to me, mean Justin Herbert misses a game or two due to an injury, which is obviously possible as well. But okay, so we're on the record now. Cody, you and I are both 13-4.
They do in the division.
AFC West champs, 2 seed. Drew, you have them 12-5, winning the division, but you were
2 seed as well.
A 2 seed as well after starting 5-5. Interesting. I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I appreciate you throwing that out there. The bet stands until 2:00.
What bet do you want to make?
No, I'm not betting.
Yeah, I want to make some
5-5.
But you picked them. You said you felt pretty good that they're going to start 5-5.
I did not say I felt pretty good. I said this is what I have them going.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about last night real quick. Cowboys, Eagles. It had everything.
The scoring, the lack of scoring,
I mean,
the spit.
The spit is, yes. Let's start with the spit gate thing. We just add gate to everything these days. That game had everything. It had lightning delay. It had the spitting. It had the ejection. It had plenty of score. Nobody could stop each other in that game. A.J. Brown was almost held without a catch until the final drive. The spitting, though, this is pretty simple. It is one of the dumbest things and disrespectful things you can do to anybody.
Yeah, to another human being, absolutely.
Obviously, he was going to get ejected. I don't care if Dak spit towards the ground 5 seconds earlier. That doesn't matter. He did not spit on Jalen Carter. It's way different. I'm totally on Dak Prescott's side. I don't know how anybody can defend Jalen Carter. He's not going to get suspended for the Chiefs game, but he's probably going to get a hefty fine tomorrow
or
Tuesday, I guess.
NFL reporters started the storyline that is, well, he was pretty much already suspended for this game, which I adamantly disagree with, and that's fine. But last night's game was a good reminder for this game tonight even. Divisional games get ugly. Divisional games get weird. The Eagles were a massive point. They might have been the 3rd highest point spread of the weekend, Gold, weren't they? I mean, there weren't that many teams.
Yeah, 8.5 was, I think, the highest of the week.
The highest.
Denver against Tennessee, and then Dallas and Eagles last night.
And I could make an argument that if CeeDee Lamb just holds onto a football, the Cowboys should have and could have won that game. The Jalen Carter thing is insane. Honestly,
Here's
because
what he
they play the
said.
Chiefs next week, I hope he gets suspended.
Hey, Jalen, could you explain what happened from your vantage point?
It was a mistake that happened on my side, and it just won't happen again. I feel bad for just my teammates and the fans out there. I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for my family also. But the fans, they show the most love. You heard them out there today. Just not being able to start the game, even finish the game, is just gonna get it better. It won't happen again.
There's some footage later that showed that Dak may have done something first. Do you feel like he precipitated it?
No, I don't try to do nothing out of the ordinary. Anything that I feel like I have done something back is provoked. But if there's something out there, y'all see it, we'll go off that.
I don't think he was provoked at all. I actually believe
Provoked because he said, "Why would I spit at you?"
I believe Dak Prescott, the Walter Payton Man of the Year at one point in his career as well, over Jalen Carter and, frankly, who he's shown to be throughout the last couple of years as a person as well. And so I'll trust Dak Prescott that he said, I spit like 100 times during a game, and my linemen were in front of me. I didn't want to spit on my own offensive lineman, so I moved forward. I spit 3 yards in front of Jalen Carter. We made eye contact. I started smirking. And he said, hey, did you try to spit at me? And Dak's like, why do you think I wouldn't try to spit on you? And then Jalen Carter spit on him. That's what happened.
Spit on him. Spit on another adult man. I think the logic of he was pretty much suspended for this is some of the dumbest logic ever. So if he was in the 4th quarter and he got ejected from the game and he spit on him, then it's okay to suspend him for the game. No. One is an ejection. One is a suspension. The length of game you missed for the spit should not change if those are 2 separate acts.
But you don't actually expect him
No,
to
I
get
don't. Of course, I
suspended,
don't.
though.
I don't actually expect it. I think it should be.
Okay.
And not just because they're facing the Chiefs, just because I think if he spit on Dak Prescott in the 4th quarter, he would be suspended. I don't think the amount of time you get ejected in the game should factor in. It's not my fault you spit 7 seconds into the thing.
Yeah, unless
That's
the
your
NFL,
call.
look, I don't think he should be suspended. I think he should get a hefty fine and, you kind of move on at that point in time. He embarrassed himself last night, and he almost cost his team the football game. The Cowboys should have won that game yesterday. They covered the 8.5, as we talked about on the show yesterday, but he absolutely could have cost and almost did his team the game because the Cowboys were able to run the football, which nobody expected. Everybody was talking about how bad the backfield was. Javonte Williams looked great last night. Scored 2 touchdowns in short yardage situation too. So, look, I don't – suspension to me is a bit much. I think that's a little wild, but he will get a hefty fine, and he'll be playing against the Chiefs next week. If the NFL suspends him for that, then that tells you better be really careful for anybody this year, because that means they really are this penalty, taunting stuff, all
a lot
that.
of that in the game last night.
They're going to be calling that like crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in the game last night. I do fear it. It's always like a 4-week thing, though. We just got to get through a month of it.
All right, up next, let's talk a little Royals baseball, then we'll get right back into the NFL. But Jake Eisenberg will be on the call tonight as the Royals are taking on the Twins. A huge win yesterday. What does that mean? Plus some injury news next.
This is Cody and Gold. Tune in for Nate Taylor every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Cody and Gold are brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexspicekc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Spies KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Hey, it's Gold, and I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. The long wait will soon be over. We've been talking about sports betting in Missouri for years, truly years, but it's finally coming on December 1st. You'll be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to those over-unders to which team is going to win it all. You can build parlays, bet on player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player will score the next touchdown and the one after that. Mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to Missouri on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Today only, get your official Chiefs flag at your nearest Community America Credit Union branch. And while you're there, enter to win tickets to the Chiefs season opener at Arrowhead Stadium. Flag sales benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City. Today only, get yours before they're gone.
Legendary. Doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long.
Here we go!
Starting with a Week 1 NFC North rivalry between the Lions and Packers.
And he's in for a touchdown!
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time. time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Witt with 20 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's no wind at all. And there's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr. Yeah, he's motivated. So the Royals grab a 4-3 lead.
Of course, Denny Matthews on the call there. 4-3 would be the final. And we did discuss yesterday. We said, look, the night before, that was on Bobby. But you know what? He might end up just winning the game for them later on today. That was yesterday. And that home run, of course, did that for the Royals. A much-needed victory. To talk more about that and look ahead to the final, what are we down to? 22 games, I think it is. Jake Eisenberg can correct me if I'm wrong on that number. But, Jake, it's good to have you on the show, my man. We appreciate you joining us. One, they needed that, but you kind of had a feeling that after having a really rough day at the office, Bobby was going to come back and help him win a game the very next day.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way it goes with him. And it's way more, like you said after the game last night, it's way more that he's going to win you games than he's going to be on the other side of it. And you are right, there are 22 games left, and the Royals find themselves just 2 games back of the Mariners for the 3rd wild card spot. And so we've got 3 weeks left, guys. And look, this is about as interesting as it gets. Sure, you'd love to be in a more comfortable position and maybe have a playoff spot more comfortably wrapped up, but these are meaningful games down the stretch. They are all going to count. They are all going to be interesting. They are all going to be tense. They are all going to be important, and that starts with tonight against the Twins.
Is it weird for me to say that I both think Bobby Witt Jr. has been a top 5 player in baseball this year, is a top 3 player in the sport, and for the culmination of the entire season, I would still say he hasn't given them enough. That might be a standard he has set for himself, but it's like the Mahomes factor. Like, I still say, Bobby, there's more there. Like, I can get more from you.
I mean, Cody, I love you, but that is a ridiculous statement.
I did say he's a top 5 player in baseball still.
We'll get that.
That's my point. Like, short of him being a switch-hitting catcher that's hit 50 home runs or putting together a Barry Bonds-like season, like, what do you want here? I mean, last year, let's be clear, last year was one of the greatest single seasons of all time in recent baseball history. Full stop. That's what we were talking about. That's where the bar was set entering this year. And so there is understandable that repeating that kind of a particular season, we haven't seen back-to-back seasons quite like that since peak Mike Trout, probably in like the early 2010s, or maybe what Aaron Judge has done specifically offensively over the last few years. Or, I don't know, Shohei Ohtani, who's hitting and pitching and doing 50-50 things as a DH, like in ways that we've never seen before. But let's be clear, like you look at the F-WAR rankings right now, Bobby Witt Jr. has 6.9 wins above replacement on Fangraphs. That is third most in all of Major League Baseball, only behind Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. He is playing a premium position. Should be another Gold Glove season for him at shortstop. He is in the center of this line. I guess, Cody, I don't know what more you want out of what's been an incredible.
I'm trying to squeeze a little more juice out of there. You know?
A little more juice. Okay, sure.
Jake. He's a greedy SOB, is what it is. All right. I appreciate you providing us a drop, though.
I hope tomorrow that if Patrick Mahomes throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns tonight, I hope you get on the show on Monday and be like, yeah, but did he throw one left-handed? Like,
show a little flash on it, you know?
Oh, my goodness. We're talking to Jake Eisenberg here on 96.5 The Fan. We know that this wild card race is tightened up. Not only is it the Mariners, but you've got now the Guardians and the Rays and the Rangers that are all right there with the Royals as well. Is it still the Mariners for you, like, because they are occupying a spot that's the team that they really still are kind of chasing, or are you now looking and say, man, Texas is playing some pretty darn good baseball as well?
I mean, I think, look, you got to chase the team that currently has the spot, and right now that is the Mariners. And even though they have sputtered in September, that's still a team that has, at least on paper, one of the best rotations in the sport, and they've got the guy that I think should be the American League MVP in Cal Raleigh, and what he's done this season, both catching and being a switch hitter, hitting 50-plus home runs and chasing down Mickey Mantle's switch hitting record. Yeah, I think the Mariners are still the team that you're chasing, and I think that's especially true considering 11 days from now, you've got a 3-game series at home against the Mariners. And from my perspective, as long as you are within 3 games of the Mariners by the time that series rolls around, yeah, you're right in this thing.
Looking at where the Royals are, I've still been, and this is one of the biggest compliments I can pay this year's team, even though I want them to be in the playoffs, and that was still the standard of success for me. Them overcoming the pitching has been incredible. But now they lose Seth Lugo to the IL. Reagans isn't back from the IL. Chris Bubich is still gone for the year. Like, can they survive this? Like, now Lugo on the bench, and Cameron, who I thought bounced back nice after the first inning last night, has had a couple of shaky starts. Can they do this again? Can Bergert and can Kolek, can they make that work for the next 3 weeks?
I mean, you certainly hope so. I do think it's a great point that you make, and something that I think someone has flown under the radar nationally and maybe locally to a degree too. But like on paper, how many teams lose 2 guys that were top 5 in the Cy Young last year and a guy who was a breakout all-star this year and still find themselves in playoff contention with 3 weeks left in the season? I would say probably none. I remember asking J.J. Piccolo, a question similar like that, right around the trade deadline. I was like, hey, put the shoe on the other foot. If you're one of the other 29 teams, would you be surprised that the Royals are doing what they're doing, given that Reagans hasn't thrown, a pitch in the big league since early June? Seth Lugo is now on the injured list for a second time this season and hasn't quite been himself for the last month. Chris Bubich, you haven't really had him the entire second half of the year. I mean, that speaks to how good Noah Cameron has been. I mean, even with, the rough patch that he had, he's still a rookie starting pitcher with an ERA just a shade over 3 in 20 starts. Ryan Berger has been terrific. He's basically looked like Noah Cameron did when he first came up. Stephen Kolek delivered a quality start. Michael Wacha has been the unsung hero of this rotation the entire season. He has been as steady as it gets. So, yeah, I think it's a testament to how good the depth has been from unexpected places. We expected it to be Alec Marsh and Kyle Wright. It's been Noah Cameron and trade acquisitions in Ryan Berger, and now Stephen Kolek, who's going to get the ball on Saturday. Yeah, can they do it again? Time will tell, but every indication is that they can.
We know the Chiefs are playing in Brazil tonight. I don't know how many countries you've been to, if any, outside of the United States or not, Jake, but where would you want a baseball game? Where would you want to call a baseball game? What other country?
Well, I learned the other day that you haven't been out of the country, so we gotta fix that.
I'm changing that in November. I'm going to the Bahamas in November.
Yeah. I love it. I actually have been to Brazil. I've been there for only a day. My wife and I went to Argentina on our honeymoon, and we went to Brazil for a day in the midst of that trip. Where would I like to see a baseball game? I think that Major League Baseball has done a really great job of kind of spreading out a little bit. We've seen games in Mexico. We've seen games in Japan, in Korea. We've seen games in Puerto Rico, and we've seen games in Cuba. I think that those places that we have games are really interesting. I think one that would be really cool, and there's definitely way more political stuff that would have to get figured out, but given the amount of Venezuelan talent in the sport, I think a game in Venezuela would be electric beyond belief. There's certainly a lot of hurdles to clear before that's something that can happen, but I think that's a destination where Major League Baseball hasn't been, but certainly has a ton of popularity. That would be incredible. And it wasn't too long ago, maybe a decade or so ago, that there was the Venezuelan Winter League. And so there was affiliated baseball that was being played there during the course of the offseason. And, of course, there's the Venezuelan Winter League now that there's so many superstars that we see in Major League Baseball playing. I think Venezuela would be a really cool place for a Major League Baseball game. I do think that's going to take quite a bit more time, though.
Jake, we know you'll be on the call for the Royals game tonight over on the Fan AM. Same time the Chiefs are in action tonight. What's your official Chiefs prediction? What do you got score-wise?
Score-wise? Let's see. It depends. How many touchdowns Patrick Mahomes throws left-handed? I'm gonna go Chiefs win. Let's go 28-16.
Comfortable win. They
Is that a
cover as well.
scoregami? That's an interesting score. 28-16.
There's no way that's scoregami, but that's a strong prediction. I like it, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. Just going off the beaten path. It's Brazil. Who knows what can happen?
Jake, appreciate you as always. I also really appreciate you for providing us this gym today.
Cody, I love you, but that is a ridiculous statement.
So I appreciate having that ready for us. Have a good call, man.
Yeah. Make sure you have a button ready for that one. It's going to be in use plenty this season.
There you go. That's Jake Eisenberg with us here on 96.5 The Fan. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Cody, I love you, but that is a ridiculous statement.
Cody, I love you about that. I mean, at least he said he loves me first. You know?
We might have to have one version where it's just Cody. That's a ridiculous take.
It's tough. Look, the Royals needed that win last night, just like they needed the one the night before. The 7th wild card spot keeps you in it in a way that you did not have, and we're not going to be in it before. And while you tried to blow your chances at the playoffs, they didn't get blown because everyone else lost beside you. So you're only 2 games back. You got the team 2 games ahead of you in a week and a half, or 2 weeks. Yeah, sometime here in the next couple of weeks when they're here for a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday set. So we'll see exactly how it goes. That homer for Bobby, boy, that had to feel like a relief for him yesterday.
You could see it coming, though. I mean, honestly, I know we talked about it yesterday, but truly, it wasn't like this hard to predict kind of thing. Like star players like him don't have games like he had 2 nights ago very often. No, and when they do, they usually try to make up for it, and they do, and they're capable because they're that freaking good. And he did right away. And I know Salvador Perez hit a home run in the game, too. Someone's like, that was the bigger home run. Whatever.
It was also a huge home. Vinny's home run to make it 3-2 was huge.
Every home. They needed every home run.
Of them. They needed all of them. They didn't have anybody on base.
They needed everyone.
But one of them won the game.
So that was nice to see. They are back at it tonight. We were saying, though, unfortunately, tonight, just bad timing for everybody.
It might be a light crowd at the K.
The crowd tonight at Kauffman for a 6:41 pitch when the Chiefs play at 7 for the opening kickoff. Ooh.
All right, early random question. It won't count as the official random question. If I offered you and your friends 20 free crowd seats tonight for you and your friends to go sit at the K at Kauffman Stadium, would you go?
No.
You can watch the game on your phone, the Chiefs game on your phone?
No.
It's on YouTube.
No. And this sounds very spoiled, but no.
I offered you 20 tickets for you, family, friends, whoever wants to go.
It's a no-go tonight, man. That would be a no-go. I wouldn't be able to get family and friends to go, too. They all want to watch the Chiefs game.
You think you'd have a hard time getting 20?
Yes. I have multiple family members that I know would absolutely say no.
Would just turn you down flat out.
Yeah.
Tough.
And I would go.
I'd like to know. 913-586-7925.
And I love going out to Royals games. But tonight, it's one of those nights.
YouTube,
Twitter,
Twitch,
rare
Facebook,
Friday, week 1 Chiefs game. I'm sorry.
Do they have the game
on
Crown
Twitch?
Club?
Yeah. Someone who's handling on Twitch is Casey Wolf says, Crown? Yes, but that's literally the only way. There's no other seat in the house you could offer me.
So if you want to hit up Cody on Twitter, he's offering you just like Carrington.
Cody has all of those right now.
I'm just asking.
Just like Carrington offered me tickets to go to Columbia, it's the same thing. Cody's offering tickets for the Crown Club tonight.
A lot of people saying they take Crown. More people than I thought.
Someone's calling in right now to claim them.
I don't have tickets.
You can watch the game, though, at the K while also being in Crown. I feel like
what are you doing? You're just there to eat and drink for free and put the Chiefs game? I don't think they
yes.
put the Chiefs game on the TVs down there, man. I got to say.
Okay,
I don't know
For tonight, though, I think you
Do you
have
think
to.
the Chiefs games are on the TV?
I wouldn't.
It's
I think
Kauffman Stadium.
I think
Cody,
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
totally honest. If they did do that, I
in
would
suites,
take the crown.
in suites, you can change.
I would take the Crown Club seats,
It's
and
practically a
I would
playoff
just
game
watch
for
the
the
game and eat
Royals
food.
every game they play.
Just watch the game.
Well,
and
I
eat
know
food.
you would take the Crown Club tickets. You're not a Chiefs fan, Drew.
I still have to watch the game. I still have to, pay attention to the game and all
People
these
are
other
sending
things.
their email.
Hey,
ballpark
Cody
app.
Harrison, send me the tickets and then we'll talk.
Yeah,
Kinda like Team UKU.
it's the same thing. Cody doesn't really have the tickets, just like Carrington never really had the tickets to offer them to me. So
I was just asking.
Yeah. All right.
I don't have 20 Crown Club seat tickets for tonight.
Cody's preemptively acting like he won the Powerball tomorrow night, which did you guys see? Nobody won, so it's like it's going to be $2 billion by the time we get to it tomorrow night.
$2 billion, man.
Again, the rule is if you want to share, you got to. If you want to,
Hey, if either of us win this one, can we up it to $2 million just for this one?
Deal.
I think that seems fair. You know our standard deal here, so
Yes.
we're up to $2 million on that.
$2 billion jackpot by the time we get to it.
Seems more than fair.
Last night there was something else that came out of the game that I think
Feels like it's gonna impact the Chiefs.
Could impact everybody, yeah. And that was the broadcast was talking about the kicking balls, right? These K balls. That there's a rule change here, and then Pat McAfee kind of explained it more, and he obviously punted the league, so he knows what he's talking about when it comes to this. I'm wondering, are we just going to expect a bunch of like 58-plus yard field goals on a regular basis? Because the K balls are now going to be allowed to be brought to the game by the teams. So essentially they can warm up the football, something they couldn't do before.
They
for
only
kickers.
had like 30 minutes. They had it was like a clock. timer.
McAfee said he thinks by his estimation, there is a 10 to 15 yard swing in a well broken in football versus a football fresh out of the box. So he's saying like, hey, don't be surprised to see some long field goals. And we know kickers have been kicking further than ever anyway. But I think we're going to see multiple 65-yard field goals this year.
If that's the case, you know what it is? I'm kind of adamantly against this. I thought kicking has already gotten too easy for the NFL. And now you just told me you made it significantly easier. Here's the question I have for you, though. Do I think now they can make those kicks? Yes, Gold. I think that based on everything we're reading, former kickers, everybody talking about it, it seems clear that this is going to impact the games. And for the Chiefs, who have one of the biggest leg kickers in the NFL and one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, this seems like an advantage. Are you attempting a 65-yard field goal that's going to give the team the ball on their own 40-yard line or your 40-yard line if you miss? The only time these extra long kicks are coming into play is at the end of the game. In the sense, Gold, that is, if I only leave them 22 seconds on the clock and they got to get a field goal to tie it for me, that ain't enough anymore. One catch and they're in field goal range. This is only going to factor at the end of the game in the most crunch moments, I think, because I don't think someone's going to attempt a 63-yarder that's going to give the other team halfway to a touchdown.
Yeah, it's going to be
in
the halves and that kind of stuff. Crucial moment. I'm with you. Yeah, we're not going to see a first drive of the game. If it's a 4th and 4 and it's a 65-yard field goal, I don't think they're going to be sending out Harrison Butker that early in the game for the reason you pointed out. But I think we're going to see multiple 65-yarders made this year. If this is true, if McAfee's right, and he knows what he's talking about when it comes to kicking.
Yeah.
If that's an extra 10 or 15 yards every kick, let's say your kicker's range normally is 55 to 56. A 60
has
is
already been 60. Can he make a 75-yarder?
I'm just talking about like the average kicker. Butker's obviously better than that, like in terms of distance. So I think if somebody's range is technically a comfortable 55 to 57, you got to extend it out to 60 plus now.
I kind of don't like this from an Andy Reid perspective. From a Chiefs-specific part of this content, I think having as good of a kicker as Harrison Butker has made Andy even more conservative than the level of conservative I want him to be anyway. I would like him to be the Dan Campbells of the world. I would like him to go for more 4th downs. And I think the comfort of knowing it's 3, and I know it's 3. It's not a question if it will be, maybe it won't be. If he's 52 yards out, that's 3, and it's 4th and 2. And because he knows with 90% certainty in his brain, I got points, he doesn't go for it because of the confidence in his kicker. If all of a sudden the guy from 52, it's nothing, and really his range is 70 out, I think it makes Andy even more conservative in that regard. Where I think with the offense and the weapons they have, I would like Andy to go for more.
Or are you more aggressive?
Take more chances.
I don't know how or are you more aggressive because you know your opponent can easily get into field goal range if it's going to be 65 yards.
Yeah, maybe you go for more touchdowns late.
We'll see how it plays out.
It does feel like there's a strategy part of this that we haven't seen yet, especially because this is the first year of this implemented change. Will they stick with it? I don't know. If everyone's just banging 66 yarders before half, it feels like it's going to have an impact on the final scores of these games. Should I be taking overs, Gold? What do you think?
I don't know if it's to that. I wouldn't adjust that yet, but it's something to keep an eye on, certainly.
To think that a team's going to be, if the Chiefs have 4th and 1 from the 50 and Andy's like, no, we're going to kick this field goal, that's a ridiculous decision.
Correct. I would agree with that.
Yeah, first quarter, it's a 60-yard kick. I don't think they're going to send Harrison Butker out there. I just don't. I think they'll punt. I think Andy will take the penalty and punt.
Or just go for it.
If it's 4th and 2, I'd like him to just go for it.
Yeah.
Because that's even, in my mind, that's less risky than attempting the field goal.
If you have
because they get 7 less yards in addition to it in the field position.
The thing that I don't get at times is Andy Reid has what everybody I think agrees on, except for some people, the best quarterback in the NFL. Why are you not trusting him to get you 2 yards? He can't get you 2 yards.
It's just not the way Andy plays,
Don't
man.
run the ball on 4th and 2. Don't run it on 4th and 1. You don't even need to. Don't think about QB sneaking football, anything. Throw the football and trust the best quarterback in the league that you're paying all that money to.
Who's one of the more clutch runners, too.
Yes.
It's just not who he is.
I don't understand why he doesn't do it more often, because if Dan Campbell can trust Jared Goff, then Andy Reid should be able to trust Patrick Mahomes every single time to get one single solitary yard. It doesn't even matter if they're on their own side of the field.
Drew, the short answer is it doesn't cost him. It might cost some other team. It might.
That's because the defense steps up. I know.
It's not just the defense. That's not what. That's certain. Don't lump me in with that.
No, it is because they get the ball. No,
boy.
hang on a second.
Oh,
if you're going to punt it from the 50 on 4th and 1, you are relying on your defense to get you the ball back.
In a way, yes, but it's not. It's just more about the fact that there is a point with the Chiefs, and I think that this is the part that you haven't come around on, Drew, that you probably should. I can critique things that I would do a little bit different in game, this, that, when it comes to the Chiefs, but I can't just bang the table and be like, what they're doing is idiotic. The success,
the results are there.
I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. I don't understand
is too high for me to just be like, well, there's just no way. I'm saying I'd like Andy to be a little more aggressive. It would bring me joy if he did that, and I think that there's an advantage in it. But it's not like it's burning him, So I can't really I can't tell him. I can't say Andy's an idiot for not going for more 4th downs. That's crazy. I can't go that far. I can just politely request that he goes for more and hope that it would make a difference if he did. Gold, you and I have talked about this. I mean, there's a point of you can question, but you can only question to a certain degree with Andy because of the success.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's.
But and this is the same thing. I think I'm going to still have the stance of one time it's going to burn him, and it's going to burn him really badly, and it's going to cost him a game that means something. And it's going to be a playoff game, and it's going to cost you, and it's going to be like, man, you have to. I'm not saying he's wrong by doing it, obviously, because he's had success, but it would make it so much easier if you could score a touchdown on a drive when you can trust your quarterback, who's the best in football, to get you 1 yard and make the right decision, than punting and hoping your defense can make a play. Thankfully for the Chiefs, they have to this point, and it hasn't cost them anything. But it feels like if you're more aggressive, I don't know how many more points that equivalates to, but you can make it so much easier where you're not stressing out late in games like you were all year last year.
But if they win them, they don't care.
I mean, it's the NFL.
Stress
I think it's the NFL. Most games are going to be very close again all year. I don't know if they're going to have 17 straight one-score game wins and all that, continuing that, but they're going to be in close games throughout the season. It's the NFL. I mean, this is why the Cowboys should not have been 8.5-point underdogs last night. They're just teams are the gap is not as large as we think it is in the NFL compared to college football or whatever. But you were very interested in this kicking topic. So do you want to officially be the ball watcher? Do you want to watch the balls this year for us?
I'm not interested in it like that. Are you asking me?
Yes.
Matt, you got to play the drop of Drew talking about decorating his own,
I figured you wanted to be locked into those this year for kicking.
I'm not Dusty. I'm not locked in that sort of way.
I was just checking, Drew.
Why you throw Dusty into this? I did say Dusty does seem to focus on the middle part of the shorts for a lot of people.
All right, up next, Josh.
Off the rip, too. It's not even like it's like after 15 minutes, it's like, hey, did you notice this? No, I didn't, Dusty. I didn't.
Up next.
Anyways, shout out to Dusty.
Josh Brisco. He's going to have pre and post tonight on the Chiefs Radio Network here on 96.5 The Fan. We will get his perspective on what we're going to see in Brazil tonight.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trent McDuffie. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
This NFL season, FanDuel wants to boost your bets even more. And right now, all customers can double their winnings with a 100% profit boost. That means you can get 2 times the payout on NFL Sunday money line bets. Keeping an eye on perhaps how many touchdowns we could see from Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf when the Jets take on the Steelers. You could visit FanDuel.com/Alex and get in the NFL action with a chance to win even bigger. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Save up to $4,500 with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter, thanks to limited time tax credits and special incentives on energy-efficient HVAC systems. But don't wait. Those federal tax credits expire after December. Upgrade your heating and cooling system, and you can enjoy lower energy bills and year-round comfort. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Call 913-888-4262 for your free consultation. Visit callhamilton.com for detailed terms and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Today only, get your official Chiefs flag at your nearest Community America Credit Union branch. And while you're there, enter to win tickets to the Chiefs season opener at Arrowhead Stadium. Flag sales benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City. Today only, get yours before they're gone.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here. Treatment, in my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-814-1500. That's 800-814-1500. 800-814-1500.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source.
Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Listen to the Chiefs and Chargers on Friday night with pregame starting at 4. Kickoff at 7 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp. Drew Nixon producing the show. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 20 minutes. We'll also talk a little KU-MU rivalry, border war tomorrow in Columbia.
Carrington was on Fox 4 today wearing
MU
was
gear.
it Red Friday? It is Red Friday.
It's a Red Friday Chiefs show, and he was wearing MU gear. Shocking. He has been invited to Fan Club Friday today in the 1 o'clock hour to wrap up the week of disagreement in our beef.
If he doesn't come in, he'll be officially labeled a coward.
The invite's been extended. We'll see if he shows. It's time to talk it out a little bit in person instead of just throwing shots show to show. You need to work this thing out.
Yeah, in a public forum.
That's right.
The two of you in a studio together. I'll just sit back and relax.
Yeah, well, we'll do that at 1 o'clock. Hopefully he shows up. Let's keep talking some Chiefs, though. It is game day. Pre-game begins at 4 o'clock today on 96.5 The Fan for the Chiefs Radio Network. Of course, Josh Brisco will be hosting pre- and post-game tonight. And he joins us right now here on Cody and Gold. Brisco, what's going on, man? I know you're got to be fired up for this afternoon.
I am spitting excited to get going. I cannot wait. I have made sure that my salivatory glands are exactly where they need to be, and I am ready for the start of this Chiefs season in a big, big way.
Are you an anti-eating before you go on the air? You want empty stomach? How do you handle, what's your game day prep?
That's a great question. No, I am no Scott Hansen. I will try to time out my bathroom breaks, obviously, and I got a new clock tonight. Where, of course, we've got the full 3 hours of pregame with the two exclusive right here on 96.5 The Fan before the network pregame like we did all preseason. So I will try to time that out. I know we're going to have some food there at the station that I'm going to try to have sustain me. The most interesting part of my game day rotation this year is I just have in my backpack, I have type 1 diabetes. People don't know this. It's fine. I'm managing it well, but sometimes your blood sugar gets low, and you know what you don't want to have happen on the radio? Have a low blood sugar. So my backpack does have a reserve of Nerds gummy clusters that are there.
Oh, those things are great.
Nerds gummy clusters. My blood sugar gets down to double digits instead of being around 100 where it needs to be. I'll pop a couple Nerds gummy clusters, and we're right back on the horse. So that's my special little treat to make sure I'm where I need to be.
I'd like you to have a special pouch for it, almost like a special emergency kit.
I'm also a big possum guy. Like if possums have pouches, they're America's only native marsupial. I do feel like, I'm also kind of a fanny pack guy. I might have a fanny pack full of Nerds gummy clusters.
I'm going to personally purchase you a possum fanny pack. It's a pouch that has a pouch just for your gummy clusters.
I do already have one bag with a possum on it, but I'll show you what I've got so we can make sure. It's not technically a fanny pack. It's more of a crossbody.
Okay.
So I would love, we could get it. I've got a ton of ideas. We have business ideas coming out. Cody, text me after this segment. Yeah. We'll sort that part out.
Can do.
As far as the game goes, though, Josh, tonight, what's the number one question you still have, I guess, heading in?
I know we've kind of beaten this one into the ground, but the Chiefs' defensive tackle room is so strange right now. We know the Chargers are going to try to run the ball. They weren't very good at doing it last year, but they upgrade the interior, and now obviously Trey Pipkins gets back into the starting lineup at tackle. But there's Derek Notty's the only nose on this team right now, and maybe we get the practice squad call-up for Marlon Tuipulotu, I guess, and they kept him over Mike Pennell, supposedly, but I am a little bit concerned there as the Chargers, I imagine, are really going to want to establish that their running game is better this year than it was last year. And that's a lot to put on the shoulders of, not just Chris Jones, obviously, who's established for the elite player that he is, but it's like, okay, Jerry Tillery, you're playing Tershawn Wharton levels of snaps here in this game, maybe more. Omar Norman-Lott's coming in questionable. He's been dealing with the ankle, and I just don't know what level he's going to perform at, banged up in his first NFL game. How much Derek Notty are you going to be getting here? So the interior of the defensive line is probably the biggest thing I'm kind of circling with a bit of concern, just because if they have a great game or if Spags has a little wrinkle for how they're going to deal with the Chargers running game, then I think this should be not a peaceful experience tonight, but hopefully doesn't come down to the final possession. If the Chargers can run up the middle all night, it's going to be a long night.
It's easy to look at your own team in that regard, but for the Chargers' sake, they were one of the best run defenses in the league last year. They lost their big run-stuffing defensive tackle, who is kind of at the heart of that. Should we be looking at on the other side in the sense that the Chargers are missing a key piece from what was their run defense last year?
Yes, and it's a new look rushing game for the Chiefs on at least a couple of parts. Obviously, the running backs are mostly familiar faces, but Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, I'm leaving out Juwan Taylor just because it's not the best part of his game, but those four guys are all people movers in the ground game. Plenty of questions about how Kings is going to hold up in pass pro, but if you want to try to create a running game that's more explosive than it was last year, but that remains efficient, I think you're leaning on an offensive line that's really built to be able to move some guys around, and then you get the healthiest version of Isaiah Pacheco that we've seen in almost a year. So I really do think, as much as I obviously love Patrick Mahomes, I love Justin Herbert, I love Xavier Worthy and Ladd McConkey. Like, I'm really excited to see how the passing games come together, but I really do think this game starts in the trenches on both sides, and I think both running games are going to have a huge impact.
We're talking to Josh Brisco here on Cody and Gold. You'll hear him this afternoon. Chiefs pregame coverage for Game 1 begins at 4 o'clock. Also postgame coverage, hopefully after a Chiefs win to kick off this season. Wide receiver-wise, we all know about the Rashee Rice absence and everything, but who do you think, is it a committee here tonight? Who do you think benefits the most heading in? We've been talking a lot about, Juju Smith-Schuster maybe in the first couple of weeks of this 6-game stretch. It's him, and then maybe as we get into this more, it becomes more of a Tyquan Thornton or somebody like that. How do you think the wide receiver snap breakdown and ultimately production is going to be this evening?
I'll tell you what I hope happens, and we'll see, I guess, if it's what it actually ends up being, because I think there are a couple of interesting ways it could go. I think the most important thing is that you hope Xavier Worthy comes out looking like wide receiver 1. Not that he has to hold that spot after Rice returns, but like, is Worthy going to be the guy who leads this team in targets today, even as a speedster, who's much more than just a deep threat? We've seen this. Chiefs fans should know this, even though I think it's going to nationally take a little while for him to get that level of respect. Then I am looking at Hollywood and Juju, and Hollywood is such a fascinating guy for me at this point because I was thrilled when they signed him last offseason. Then obviously he gets hurt the first play of the preseason, and then by the time he comes back, it just feels like the offense had changed too much by that time. The tackle situation was bad, all of that. So I want to believe in Hollywood, but now he misses this year. Basically everything that he did do last year, he didn't do this year, and vice versa. Obviously, no preseason in either case. So you're saying, okay, well now Hollywood's available. He's been practicing. Andy Reid says he's good, but he wasn't out there getting the reps in training camp that he got in his first season with the Chiefs. So I hope that it's Worthy, Hollywood, Juju in that order. I think Tyquan Thornton has an important role, and I think if he has 2 or 3 targets for 1 or 2 catches for 30 to 60 yards, we'll all be thrilled with that. But I hope that Worthy kind of gets that first crack at really being Mahomes' first look most of the time. But I think Hollywood is by far the most interesting next option. It's just a thinner room without Rice being your first guy up. You kind of knock everybody down a spot. It's a great room. You knock everybody up 1 spot without Rashee Rice, and obviously no Jalen Royals tonight. And you really do need, like, plus-level contributor performances from Hollywood and Juju.
When you look at the wide receiver stuff, it's like they've had fast wide receivers over the last couple of years. Xavier Worthy might be the fastest man in the league. His 40 time would certainly suggest he is, but that is not equated to any kind of deep passing game. Is that just as simple as If Simmons holds up, I can anticipate an actual deep ball in an NFL game for what will feel like the first time in 2 years. Or are there other factors at play here?
I think that's the biggest one. I mean, you can go ahead and include Kingsley there, too, because a quick loss from the interior is going to nuke anything you had planned. But I really do think that's it. And that third preseason game against the Bears, we saw it on a few drives, and man, it was extremely exciting and extremely nice to see again. The other thing that I'll mention there, since we brought up Thornton a couple of times, is, Justin Watson did this a little bit. MVS did this better, at least before the, catching the football problem was so incredible. Thornton's speed, in the respect I think he is going to demand from defenses, should make it a little bit easier for Worthy to have more deep shot options himself. It's what happened on that play against Chicago where the safety just has to pick one. Hey, we got a single high look. You're either going to go with Thornton or you're going to go with Worthy, and I'm going to throw it the other way. I think that's sustainable. I think that's something that really can be a calling card of this offense again, even though it's been a long time since the deep ball's been a major part of it. You just need the protection to hold up.
Is there anything from last night's game that now has you, I guess, more intrigued tonight? I'm talking more about, the taunting or even the kicking changes, anything like that now you're like, okay, I'm curious how the Chiefs or even the Chargers handle it.
Yeah, the kicking thing is all very interesting. Not just the kickoff rule, which we saw some struggles with last night. It seems like Butker's pretty dialed in on that. But whatever's going on with the kicking ball and like the kicking range extending, I know Brazil's got a little bit of an altitude thing going on. Just some weird stuff there to keep an eye on. I have like a whole sort of ripple effect of Eagles thoughts where I was viewing them in one way in the first half, and then in the second half, as the delay came through and interrupted things, I got a lot less afraid of what week 2 is going to look like. So I think that's fascinating. And we knew when the NFL point of emphasis video came out, like, all right, we're doing taunting again. One of the penalties that they showed in that NFL video with the examples, I didn't think should have been a penalty, and it was one of the examples they used. So I think we're probably in for a long year, or at least a long first 6 or 8 weeks, which kind of tends to be how they do the point of emphasis thing, it seems like. I think it's going to be a while where we're going to see some really frustrating taunting calls. I totally understand. You don't want the gun celebrations. You want to clean up a little bit here and there. Maybe you don't want your players spitting on each other. I totally get that. But I don't need anybody moving back 15 yards for my team or against my team because they flexed at an opponent. It's an emotional game. Flexing is happening during the play. It's okay if it happens 2 seconds after the play, too.
Do you think Jalen Carter should be suspended for next week's game? Not for any particular reason,
I think that if Roger Goodell cares about the sanctity of the game and the kids, Jalen Carter should be suspended for one regular season game. I think
Just
two would be an affront. 2 would be an overreach. But 0, embarrassing. I think an exact 1-game suspension for Jalen Carter starting in week 2, whoever the Eagles play next week, I think that has to happen.
Hard to say who that is.
Yeah, I'll look it up after. Cody, I'm just focused on the Chargers.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Andy.
Brisco, appreciate it, man. We'll be listening. I'll be talking to you a little bit later on this afternoon.
I was going to say, you can be listening, but Gold, you need to not be going anywhere. I gotta get a hold of you at some point today. It's going to be a really good show. I'm excited to get going.
Absolutely. There you go. Josh Brisco, pre- and post-game host for the Chiefs Radio Network. You'll hear him starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon on 96.5
You going to be on some pregame today?
Yeah, I will be on pregame a little bit with him this afternoon. Looking forward to doing that. Plus, What's at Stake? We're bringing that back. Quick little 60 seconds or so betting thoughts heading into Chiefs-Chargers.
Kramer was around here. I was supposed to give him a bet for tonight. I kind of forgot.
He's gone. He's long gone.
He gone?
He's long gone.
Too late?
Yep.
Well, that's too bad. I'll just give it to this show later, I guess. I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to duck him.
You
we
got
just had a few things.
You gave him your score prediction. You're
I
good.
did.
You're
I did
good.
give him a score
That'll
prediction.
be out later
And
on tonight.
I went high on the point total, so.
That is very true.
So did you. I mean, it's not like I think either of us would have the over in this scenario.
All right, we'll get back to Chiefs in 15 minutes, but let's talk a little bit about the border war tomorrow in Columbia. Of course, our college football coverage on 96.5 The Fan brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light and Tanner's are teaming up to make every college game day legendary. Every Saturday, rep your college team. You know which one you should be repping. Catch every play and enjoy $15 buckets only at Kansas area Tanner's locations.
Jeez.
Bud Light and
That's a weird
Tanner's
emphasis.
from the stands
Yeah.
to the bar, your game day headquarters.
I was going to say,
I see how it is.
Cody, we were talking before about how your students, you're having them read through scripts and stuff, and how certain words don't need to be overemphasized.
Oh, that was needed there. That was needed there.
I'm not kidding. That's the exact exercise we did in the class yesterday. Was reading copy like from the actual show, and having them like make sure they don't say like your, and emphasize the thing. I think Alex intentionally emphasized Kansas there. I'm gonna make that very clear.
Yes.
I think that was
on a level from 0 to 10, how excited are you about this game?
I'll be more excited after the Chiefs game tonight. Like that's just
okay,
the truth.
So you're probably like a 4 now, but you'll be like a 7 or 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, like if you want my honest answer, like the Chiefs are playing tonight, guys. That's what I'm most
Tomorrow
excited
at
about
2
right this
o'clock,
second.
you're going to be locked into ESPN2.
In general, it is no secret I am far more of an NFL fan than a collegiate sports fan. That's just a fact. Carrington thinks it's funny, but like that's just the reality. Like I care way more about the NFL than college sports. It just at this point.
I think Rob and Carrington both probably care more about college sports.
And Drew obviously cares more about college as well. That's fine.
Correct.
But there's no doubt tonight, in general, like the Chiefs got to play first before I really lock in for KUMU tomorrow. But I'm excited. I feel pretty good about Kansas' chances. Let's talk about the game a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. Kansas gets to be and this is always a good spot to be in a rivalry game, in my opinion. Nothing to lose team. I mean, absolutely nothing to lose. They haven't played football against each other in 14 years. It is in Columbia, which takes the heat off you. They're the more heralded team coming into the year with higher expectations. If they steal a win, it's going to be massive. Now, I'll say the one thing that they do have to is the pressure of Kansas basketball let them down. So, like, they are on the losing end of if MU gets to restart both basketball and football and has the most recent win in both, the talk between the organizations, right, the schools, get significantly more up. I feel a little more confident after watching Jalen Daniels play. I still think Missouri will win, but I'll say this about Jalen Daniels, which is the question I asked before the season. 3 years ago, Jalen Daniels was a Heisman Trophy, like, top 10 favorite. He looked to be every bit of the goods. There were talks of NFL and everything else, and I haven't seen him play really even mediocre to decent football since. That was the first time, even though it's been games that are against weak opponents. Those are the first 2 games that I've watched Jalen Daniels look like that dude again. He's fully healthy going into the Missouri game. So in my opinion, they have the better quarterback in the match.
I think they do.
And in a college football game, that goes a long way.
It does. Now, roster as a whole, Missouri has the edge.
Yes.
You know, the one thing Eli Drinkwitz has done very, very well is recruit at an unbelievably high level in terms of bringing talent in. They obviously, to me, have not met full-on expectation last year in particular. Kansas does not have the better roster. But I do agree, the quarterback edged with Kansas. Now they're going to go into a crazy environment tomorrow in Columbia, and that's something that this Kansas team has not experienced.
Do Missouri fans go in there, though? Do they give that Kansas energy at Missouri Stadium for a rivalry that hasn't existed in 14 years?
Oh, I think it's going to be.
I'm just asking if it's cool at all.
I
That's
think
all.
it's going
I don't know.
I think it's going to be extremely hostile tomorrow in Columbia.
It'll be the most ruckus environment in college football tomorrow.
It'll be the toughest atmosphere Jalen Daniels has played in. I don't think that's crazy to say at all. I know they've played in Manhattan. K-State fans are getting upset at me saying that, but I think it'll be the most intense atmosphere Jalen Daniels has played in. How does he handle that? I do think they cover the 6.5. I think they should not be 6.5-point underdogs, but we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. We'll talk to Carrington about it in the 1 o'clock hour if he accepts the offer to come on the show.
That's the thing. The roster's better for Missouri, but the quarterback's better for Kansas, which gives you hope.
Well, I think
coach-wise, where are we?
Dare I say the wide receiver room, I think, is better for Kansas, too.
Yeah, it might
because
be.
Emmanuel Henderson coming over from Bama's looked really good, and then Cam Pickett, of course, is also there.
Where are we at on Prabula? That's really part
Still
of it.
I really like Bo Prabula. I think he could be very good for them, but it's still an unknown. I do think this is one of the matchup that I'm very, very excited to see is the creativity of Jim Zabrowski's offense for that Missouri defense. Missouri's defense last year was top 25 in the country, top in the SEC. They're going to be that way again this year. They are loaded. The games
they can recruit. Missouri can recruit.
KU's got a lot of weapons where, based on how they played the first 2 games, there's going to be some creativity. They're going to cause Missouri some problems, but I think the game is also very, very close. I think it's the best game of the weekend, which again goes back to the whole game. Game day should have been there because it's the rivalry. It's going to be the best game of the day. The environment is going to be ruckus. And also, they're on ESPN2, which I think is also embarrassing.
Yeah, what the hell? They don't even get ESPN Game Day, and then they're sub-channeling them?
Yeah, I'm very surprised that they disrespected both programs in that way.
It's one of the oldest rivalries in all of college sports. Up until it got canceled due to the Missouri going to the SEC, it was like the second longest continuous rivalry, right, in all of the sport.
It goes back to the Civil War, which is just it's to think about that with college football is insane. Like it's existed that long.
It was funny hearing some of the players this week talk about the rivalry. Like, yeah, I thought it was just a football rivalry or sports rivalry. I didn't realize
they're learning about it.
Some of them did not recognize.
Border War was the name of this thing for a while for a reason.
Yeah, legit issues between the two states.
I will say this. As much as people don't like Paul Feinbaum convinced the SEC Network crew to go to Columbia. They were going to go to Lexington for Ole Miss and Kentucky, but Paul Feinbaum convinced them to go to Columbia for that rivalry because he was like, guys, you don't understand how intense this is. Like, the hatred is just the same as Alabama, Auburn, and the Iron Bowl. They hate each other, KU fans and MU fans. I didn't realize it either until you get to this week and you see the promotional videos and all that stuff. It is crazy.
It's the biggest rivalry in the city that has lasted my entire lifetime. Like I said, NFL rivalries and baseball rivalries, I think those are based on which teams are good. Kansas could have 2 wins in football or 10 wins in football or 2 wins in basketball or 100, it doesn't matter. They still want so bad to beat each other. Like, they still hate it so much. So, like, that's what makes the game interesting.
Real quick before we get to trash. After the game on Instagram Live, I'm going to go live on the station's channel. So if you have Instagram, go follow the Fan 96.5. Right after the game, we'll be reacting live for like 10, 15 minutes to whatever happens.
Nice.
Keep an eye out for that. Drew will be giving a full breakdown. Also, he's got a new episode of his podcast out this week, 249 miles.
Yeah, predicted the game as well on there.
Who'd you predict to win?
Missouri wins by 1, 28-27.
1?
And I think if Kansas scores,
Kansas
by the way,
goes for 2 at the end and fails.
If Kansas scores 24 or more points against this defense, you should be very encouraged as a Kansas fan, even if they lose.
Trash of the day.
Just quick, if time expired, they score a touchdown, and it's 28-27.
Go
you want
for
them
it.
going for 2?
Yeah, you're on the road.
You go for the win.
I'm asking.
You're on the road. You're going
have
for
to go.
2. Absolutely.
You're not supposed to win. You have to go, Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get to the trash of the day. I could have had a joke there, but I'll refrain. I'll wait for Carrington.
Dang.
Your phone could contribute to hemorrhoids. Did you see this study?
Excuse me?
Yeah, well, it's really
This
a
is
poll.
2 phone ones. Someone got paralyzed because they were looking at their phone too long.
Yeah. So I guess there was a poll out. Your smartphone could lead to a legit pain in your you-know-what, literally, because more than 50 of those that were polled revealed that they use their phones while they sit on the toilet. I'll just read the rest of the article. It says that potty time doom scrolling can lead to extended time on the can. And that extended time on the can could lead to hemorrhoids. Researchers found that taking your phone to the bathroom while you do your business can increase your risk of pain down below, as in hemorrhoids, by 46%.
Okay, so this is going to be the first trash of the day that I'm not the first, but like, I cannot relate to this in any way. My trip, I'm not hanging out in there. This is a business trip.
Get in and get out.
I'm there, this is like the thing that like, I guess I would ask regular people, like in a sitcom, this feels like the regular joke. Oh, the sitcom dad is in the toilet for 45 minutes. Are some of you spending 45 minutes in there? Because that's like, get some fiber in your diet or something.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
about
certain body parts that if they ooze, I'd be careful.
I just get out. I go to the bathroom and I leave. I'm not spending a bunch of free time in there, man. If I want to scroll up my phone, I'll sit on the couch, man.
Yeah, go in, do your thing, and leave. I've always I wondered, it's interesting because you have kids. Some people said, "Oh no, I just need to get away for a little bit." But if you're sitting on the toilet and you're tweeting or you're watching a football game for a half hour, yeah, just go back on the couch, please. Go back on the couch.
Yeah, you should not be sat that long.
Do you watch in Cincinnati Joe Burrow highlights while you sit on the toilet?
No, I do not. I will say this: I went to the bathroom yesterday during the game, and I turned it on for like a couple minutes while I used the restroom, and then was done. I didn't just sit there.
So you didn't want to miss part of the game, so you left it on the phone.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you could
wanted to
have
have
just
it on the
missed.
phone.
You could miss a couple of minutes. That's the whole point. How long are you in there for? If I'm in there, I mean, honest to God, if I'm in there more than even 5 minutes would feel like a lengthy amount of time. I'm just going to say, like, for me,
yeah, I wasn't in there
even
that
that
long.
would feel like a lengthy amount of time to spend in the restroom. Unless I'm like violently ill, I got to be really going through it. If that's if that's the amount of time. I don't understand it. Well, these are you? I guess let us know. 913-586-7965.
I really like the way he worked on my lower body.
Are you guys spending that much time in the restroom?
No, I'm not.
So you're not, Drew. Are you team spend hours
Someone
in the
says
restroom?
someone says
I'm
a buddy
not.
and their coworker 30 minutes every morning.
That's crazy.
30 minutes.
It's too long. Yeah, that guy probably has hemorrhoids. I guess just know that. Just sitting on there for 30 minutes.
That is nuts.
Oh, what is it? Preparation H? Go get some of that.
Yeah, that is what it is.
That's the trash of the
Take
day.
care of yourselves.
Up next, the Chiefs Red Half Hour. We'll talk more about one player and particular who we have high hopes for tonight, plus looking ahead a little bit. And what will that final stat line that can lead to an MVP season look like for Mahomes?
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Josh Simmons. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The NFL is back. Watch the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers live from Sao Paulo, Friday, September 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, only on YouTube, featuring a halftime performance by Karol G. Watch it all live and totally free from the comfort of your living room, which if you turn the volume up just right, will make it feel like you're right on the 50-yard line. Tune in Friday, September 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and kick off the NFL season, only on YouTube. Certain local broadcasts available.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Insurance. Financial services. Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide. Is both. Nationwide. Is both. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
FanDuel is running a promotion that I know you're absolutely going to love. This NFL season, FanDuel wants you to boost your bets even more. Right now, all customers, yes, every single customer, can double their winning with the 100% profit boost token. That means you get 2 times the payout on an NFL Sunday money line bet. So maybe you want to take a favorite, but you want to bring the juice down a little bit. Or maybe there's an underdog that you really, really like. Like you like Carolina. You can get them at plus money. You can double that and make it an even sweeter bet if you end up getting the game correct. So to place this bet or whatever you like on a football Sunday, make sure to check out FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ and get into the action with an even bigger chance to win. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issue and non-withdrawable profit book token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem. Get up at your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KansasGamblingHelp.com.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we are improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000. Or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan. During halftime or overtime, from spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play. All from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365.
This hour's sports report is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is officially live in the Sunflower State. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus in partnership with Kansas Star Casino.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
Did get a little bit of news in the last 10 minutes or so out of Brazil. The Chargers updating their injury report for tonight's game, adding their guard, Mekhi Becton, to the injury report. He's now questionable with what they're calling an illness, which, look, we would assume, what, food poisoning or something?
Yeah, I mean, just caught a bug. Long flight, who knows? But that's not nothing. They're already missing their starting left tackle. I think it's important to note they moved their right tackle to left tackle, so they got a backup left tackle, which means they also have a backup right tackle, which means they also have a backup right guard. And if now you're telling me Mekhi Becton at least is a questionable decision about whether or not he can play, seems like a pretty good test to find out whether or not your defensive line is going to get some real pressure this year. Feels like you should be able to make it harder on them to get the passing game going. Seems like you should be able to make it harder on them to get the running game going. And look, I don't know what Amari and Hampton will be. Running backs can immediately come onto the scene and be really good running backs from day one. Mm-hmm. I think Najee Harris means nothing. I mean, maybe I'm off. I was never impressed with him the entire time he was in Pittsburgh. Now I just think he's going to be better.
But Harbaugh's scheme, he's going to run the football, and he's going to probably use multiple backs. And so that's where I still think he'll have.
I guess I don't fear Najee Harris. I'm not saying he doesn't have a role. No. I don't fear him as a threat in the game.
Yeah, he's not going to run all over you, but like he's gonna be in the game. He's gonna play. Amari Hampton's the only guy in that backfield that has like true breakaway speed that could potentially lead to a big 40-plus yard touchdown.
Stopping those. Gold, for as much as their running game defense has been a bit of a sieve, occasionally, not all the time, they've had a little bit of trouble in stopping the run over the last couple of years. I don't feel like it's the big runs. I feel like they just get beat for 5 or 6 at a time. I mean, you and I have watched, every game.
I'd have to go look. Yeah, I look, even
That's
against,
just on the feeling.
Even against the Eagles, I know the Super Bowl was a disaster, but Saquon Barkley was not running all over them in the Super Bowl. Like, if I would have told you they would have got their butts kicked, you would have thought it was Saquon running all over them. It was just Jalen Hurts carving them up.
It was just they didn't even have to put up big numbers, man. That game was an embarrassment.
If the Chiefs can, slow down, shut down the run tonight, I think it bodes very, very well for them because, again, Ladd McConkey's great, but we've gone through the other weapons in the passing game. Not really impressed by who else is going to be available for Justin Herbert in terms of in the passing game. Now, can they use Hampton in the passing game? Sure. Ladd McConkey's the real deal, but Trent McDuffie is more than capable of handling Ladd McConkey, or at least limiting him and forcing somebody else to beat you. Where that means Keenan Allen rolling back the clock. It means Quinn Johnson out of nowhere coming up with one of his better games.
I'm intrigued to see the rookie Trey Harris.
Yeah, but it's a rookie in game one.
He may be jumping Quentin Johnston before we know it.
But rookie wide receivers, unless you're just like an absolute dude, you're Jamar Chase or you're Justin Jefferson. Unless you're one of those guys, rookie wide receivers, it's not that they can't do good things. They just come onto the scene and there's 6 catches for 95 yards.
But he probably will.
He isn't going to do that.
He probably will get.
He's going to be out there.
Yeah, he's going to get an opportunity because Quentin Johnson just got out of concussion protocol a couple days ago. So he's gonna play. He's tall, fast, perimeter wide receiver. They need that in that offense with the Chargers. So yeah, there'll be an opportunity.
Mike Williams too, right?
He retired. Remember?
That's right. So he came back and then
he came back, and then that's also why they went and signed Keenan Allen. Not that they're the same type of receiver, but like they were just getting really thin in the wide receiver room. So I actually think Keenan Allen will probably have the second most receiving yards for the Chargers tonight.
At least familiar with the way the Chiefs defense operates. On the other side, for the Chiefs offense, we're going to spend a lot of time this year, I'm sure, dissecting the passing game, what it looks like with Simmons, what Hollywood Brown, when Rashee Rice comes back in 6 weeks, what it looks like then. We both, and I think most people, thought it stood out the way Isaiah Pacheco was talking about his upcoming season. And we're talking about a player whose expectations are not nearly as high as they used to be because he's coming off an injured season. But I honestly think Isaiah Pacheco is in for a really good year. This is what he said yesterday when talking about what his motivations were this year.
For me, I'm on a revenge tour. If you know what revenge means, you know what a tour is. I'm on a revenge tour.
I love that quote.
It's very good.
You know what revenge is? You've heard of a tour? I'm on a revenge tour.
He's a fun personality. We had him on the show during training camp as well, and he mentioned multiple times this was his first full training camp, meaning he's healthy, since his rookie season. I do think that matters. And you always love when someone has a chip on their shoulder because a lot of people, the narrative around him was like, okay, yeah, he's done, But no, he was never healthy. I think he's got, a strong year in him ahead. Last year, if he was fully healthy, I might have said that was it. I think last year I even said, this is his last year where you can count on him. Well, he ended up not playing last year for a majority.
So can you count on him this year?
Yeah, and this is a contract year for Isaiah Pacheco. And I still think they needed some more help in the backfield for him. But he is more than capable of being what he has been prior to last year, which is what? 900, 975, going to have 7 touchdowns or so for you, going to give you a little bit of burst, and then you work in some other guys. I think that's very possible. And in fact, tonight, not just because he said he's on a revenge tour, and I do love the way he said it as well.
I do too.
I think he's going to have a really nice night. In game one, he's fresh. You got something to prove. The way we've been talking so much, obviously, about down the field passing everything, but watch Isaiah Pacheco be the story of the night. That would not be crazy at all. He's plus 190, I think it is, to get a touchdown. He's 13-1 to get 2. His over/under is 48.5 rushing yards. I think all are in play.
Let me put a little bit of perspective on it, because then I think it'll help you realize how good Isaiah Pacheco was the last time he was fully healthy on the field for the Chiefs. Big chunk of this offseason, Gold, has been spent talking about the Bills running back, James Cook, who had, by all accounts, a phenomenal season last year, did lead the league in touchdowns at 16 rushing touchdowns last year. James Cook, last season, played in 16 games and finished with yards from scrimmage, 1,267. The last year, Isaiah Pacheco was a full starter in the NFL. He finished with 1,180. You were talking about the difference of a couple of yards per game the last time Isaiah Pacheco stepped on the field versus this. And if you're like, well, how many touchdowns score? 10? So as good as James Cook was last year, Isaiah Pacheco was just a half a step back of that performance just 2 years ago. And what looked like a year in which he was getting ready to take a big step forward. I still think there is a big year left in Isaiah Pacheco. And by big, again, I don't mean Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's getting 2,200 yards from scrimmage this year. But do I think he could be one of the 10 to 12 best backs in the NFL if he plays a full 16 games? Absolutely. And that year he finished with 1,179 yards. He only played in 14 games. He played in 2 less. He was actually a more productive player on a per-game basis than James Cook was last year. So the way I view this is that I'm hopeful that we just get like what you said. We get tonight, and Isaiah Pacheco is one of the stories on Monday. Because, it looks like the juice is back. Revenge tour, as he said. Do you know revenge? Do you know tour? Revenge tour.
Yeah, that was great. I
love that quote.
If you know what revenge mean, you know what a tour is. I'm on a revenge tour.
You know what revenge mean? You know what a tour is? I'm on a revenge tour. That's a great line. I hope it pays off, you know?
Yeah.
What are your I think he's going to have 1,100 yards from scrimmage and like 8 touchdowns. That's my prediction for Isaiah Pacheco this year. So I'm assuming he's healthy. But,
I haven't thought much on the receiving yards. I just think rushing wise, he's a 950-yard back. Let's call it overall from scrimmage touchdown wise. I think he's 6 to 9 touchdowns on the season.
Because I think Kareem Hunt will steal some of those.
Yeah, and by the way, that's really all you're asking from Pacheco this year. In an offense that has Patrick Mahomes and eventually will have Rashee Rice and hopefully Worthy and Hollywood Brown all on the field at the same time at some point by week 7.
Maybe refresh Travis Kelce.
Yeah, absolutely. Heck, he could probably be an 825-yard back and 6 touchdowns, and you would probably take it if we're being real. But I think he'll be in the same 900-plus yard range.
What's your expectation?
Someone said, all brakes, no gas. That's right. He's had some good quotes over the years.
913-586-7965. What is your expectation for Isaiah Pacheco this year? Over on the text line, again, this goes back to the same thing tonight. Like Mobius is saying, depends on what the offensive line does, right? Isn't that going to play a factor?
The guard, especially the left side.
Joe Thuney was a great run-blocking guard. But in fairness, that's where Kingsley tends
been better.
to.
Yeah, he's been better.
Kingsley tends to grade out significantly better in run protection than in pass protection. So, I don't know. Maybe there's something to the running game this year. If that's where Kingsley thrives, why not take advantage of where his strength is? Maybe they do run over that left side a lot of times. Creed, Kingsley, and Josh Simmons, might be able to be the road graders you've been looking for a while. Andy's not afraid. This always goes back to the same. Andy's not afraid to run the ball if he's got a good running game. He's just never going to run it more than he passes.
And nor should he. Not when you have Patrick Mahomes. And thinking of Patrick Mahomes, ultimately, where this team goes is going to come down to his level of performance. And can he, get back to performing statistically across an entire 18-game schedule like a top 3 quarterback? He made the big plays when needed. They won 15 games, all right? They were in the Super Bowl. But it is fair to say, statistically, he was not the same type of quarterback. And there's a lot of reasons why that was the case. Yes, it was him. Yes, it was the O-line. And yes, it was the wide receiver room.
I definitely thought he got some happy feet.
So this year, what do you expect number-wise? I'm not asking for, ultimately wins are all that matter. But number-wise, last year he had 3,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks. The year before, he had 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. And, of course, in 2022, 41 touchdowns, 5,200 yards, and 12 picks.
We're not that far removed from him leading the league in touchdowns and receiving or passing yards.
Right. Look, I think Patrick Mahomes, with the trust that I believe he will develop, if he doesn't already have it, with Josh Simmons and having a legitimate left tackle, that is going to help drastically the happy feet thing you're talking about.
Yep.
Heading into week 1, even without Rice, he has better weapons than he had at any point last year. That, to me, is going to equate to the production ramping up. Now, is he going to have 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards again? I don't think we'll ever see that. I just don't. The way teams play, that's a big ask, okay?
He's going to have to play
and,
week
and he
17,
was 23. He's got plenty of good football left, but, he's going to have to adjust a little bit. I think Kansas City this year with Patrick Mahomes, it is more than fair to expect 4,500 yards passing. I really believe that. And I think you're going to see 4,500 yards passing. I'll say he's back to 42 touchdowns. So 45, 42, and I'll still say 15 picks. I do think the picks will be still in the same range.
He's never thrown 15.
He had
14 is his
But if I
highest
tell you he has
years
42 touchdowns
I'll take the
and
trade-off.
14 or 15 picks, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm slightly...
I'm predicting a pretty damn good season. It's not going to be his most yards. It's not going to be his most touchdowns. But it's going to still be a much better season statistically for Patrick Mahomes.
I'm slightly more conservative than you, while I still think predicting a pretty good season, obviously. I think he'll finish with 4,400 yards. This is what I wrote down. We didn't look at the same. So we're 100 yards off on that. I think he'll finish with 12 interceptions, and I had him at 37 passing touchdowns.
That'll play.
And if you're like 37, is that a lot? Would have been, I don't know, third in the NFL last year, probably. Give or take fourth. I just had to look it up. Joe Burrow had 43, Baker had 41, Lamar had 41, and Jared Goff had 37.
The numbers I gave you, he's firmly in the MVP conversation. Firmly.
Yes. Honestly, I think they're going to want to he's going to get a narrative award just based on the last 2 years. It's so weird for a quarterback of his stature to be able to get the narrative, but because the last 2 seasons have been so mediocre for them offensively, if he comes back out and he puts the season together, you just said, he has 4,500 yards and 42 touchdowns, he's winning the MVP.
I would hope.
I don't even think it's going to be part of the MVP discussion. I think he does. I do think he's probably winning MVP this year. Like, I don't know that.
Probably. You think probably?
When we're talking about the betting end, it's a little tough because he's still one of the guys who gets the worst odds as far as like who you're betting on.
I actually think
I genuinely think this is an MVP. Yeah, that might be fair.
This is about as good of odds you'll get for a Mahomes.
If you're going to bet Mahomes.
I think he's 8-1 at last check. I mean, he's not the favorite to your point, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But as far as the latest number right now, Jalen Hurts got shuffled around a little bit after last night. Lamar is plus 490, so almost 5-1. Allen 5-1. I guess Mahomes is down to 6-1. He has the same odds as Joe Burrow. And then Jaden Daniels 10-1, Hurts 14-1.
Isn't it crazy that even in a year in which statistically we call that kind of bad for Mahomes, there were only 8 quarterbacks with more passing touchdowns than him, and 2 of them had 2 more passing touchdowns. That's it, 2. Not like
How many did he have last year?
26. That was 9th best in the NFL.
How many did Josh Allen have last year?
Josh Allen had 28. He had a lot of rushing touchdowns, so I don't want to just miss it. So you're like, oh, Mahomes, how'd you only have 3,900 yards? Drew, where do you think that ranked amongst NFL quarterbacks?
3,900 yards? Top 10.
7th. A horrible, good, very bad year for poor old Patrick Mahomes was the 9th most passing touchdowns and the 7th most passing yards. The only people with more passing yards last year in the NFL are Burrow, Goff, Mayfield, Geno, Darnold, Lamar. That's it. Those are the only. He had more passing yards than everybody's golden boy, Justin Herbert. He had more than Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray or Stafford or Josh Allen. He had more passing yards than all of those people. And I understand that Josh Allen has an entire running game part, and so does Lamar Jackson, to their season. But not doomsday the way people would make it seem. So if he has better weapons, a better offensive line, 4,400 yards, 37 passing touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, which is what I'm telling you he's going to do, that might be on the low end of the estimate. You might be closer. 4,000, 4,540 might actually be the better estimate.
A few other texts coming in. Someone says 4,650, 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Someone else says 4,500 yards, 40-plus touchdowns, 10 interceptions, regular season MVP. Someone else saying, if you guys think he's going to throw double-digit interceptions, how many of those are going to be game costing? Well, it can't be that many. They win 12 games just about every year, so it's not like it's not costing them 5 games if that's what you're saying.
Maximum, it would cost him 5 in that scenario, and I don't think he'd be the biggest problem in all of them.
One or 2 games max that you would say he made an interception that quote-unquote cost him the game. That's max. I mean, I picked them to go 13-4. I only think they're losing 4 all year. I don't think he's going to cost them all 4 games.
You don't think 8 of his 14 interceptions come at 2 at a time in those 4 losses?
I don't. I don't at all.
And interceptions are a weird stat because, like last year's, there are 3 of the interceptions that went off his receiver's hands. Are those ones that I count against him? Like, what the hell did he do?
This is why
he hit the player in the hands.
It can't just be box score watching. It can't just be the stats. I know we're doing a conversation about the stat line.
You know what stat? We're not even going to talk it. You know what stat I care more about than Mahomes than any of the ones we already discussed? More than any stat that we've just talked about that I care about at the end of the season. Yards per attempt.
Is it check down city or what?
Yeah. If I got so help me, if I got to watch another 6.8.
Yeah, but if you think he's getting 4,500 yards though, then we're not worried about check down city.
He finished 26th in the NFL among starting quarterbacks. He was below Anthony Richardson in yards per attempt last year. Will Levis threw the ball further down the field than him last year. More than any stat that we've mentioned. Can you please push the ball down the field a little bit? Gold, to your point, if he does finish with between 4,500 and 5,000, 47, whatever, he's going to have to throw the ball down the field more. He's not going to throw it for 6 yards and attempt 50 times per game. those numbers are going to just have to go up. But yeah, just anything besides what existed last year.
Yeah, someone just say if you think he's throwing 14 or 15 picks, there's going to be that they're going to, it's hard to think they're not going to cost some games. I mean,
that's how many times picks he's thrown before.
2 years ago he threw 14 and they were he was 10 and he overall was 10-6 I think in that season, but they won 11 games if I'm not mistaken, right? Wasn't he hurt or something? I can't remember.
He was
2 years ago. If I have that
he had
right.
like one random game.
And then in a year in which they won 14 games, he had 12 picks. I mean, so no, I don't think there's like an automatic, if you think he's throwing 14 picks, how can you say they're going to win 13 games? I think that's more than plausible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Last year he threw 11, they won 15.
He threw 12 in a year. In which
it wasn't like he threw 7 picks and they won 15 games.
And you might remember that a lot of those interceptions came early in the season from Mahomes last year, and then they just kind of shut the faucet off. Where his interception
people are stuck on the
He's
interception
had 12,
number.
13, 12, 14, and 11 in 5 of the last 7 seasons. I think you just kind of know where his interceptions are going to end up. He did have 2 years in 5 and 6, but he's like a double-digit guy. He's like a 10 to 12, 10 to 13 interception guy most years. That's fine. That's what he is. I don't expect him to throw 0 yards per attempt. That's
What about tonight with just the field? Do you think we're going to have to worry about this? I'm a little concerned.
Tell me why I shouldn't be.
Based off of last year, and I know we've had Danon on to talk about it. We had Kling on earlier in the week, and he was explaining some new seeding method, I guess, of the field. And when you talk about the league worth billions of dollars, and on a national or international stage, I should say, tonight, and the new YouTube contract, and you're dealing with the face of the league in the NFL, and obviously you've got Kelsey, which has brought in so many more fans, and Taylor Swift and all that. You can't have an embarrassment of the field causing injuries, causing guys slipping all over the place. And I understand the Chiefs equipment staff has got all the different spikes and different cleats.
Yeah, they try to prepare themselves.
But last year, it is true. Jordan Love almost missed a huge chunk of the season because of the grass. That just can't happen. It shouldn't happen last year, but that can't happen after you already saw the issue a year ago and they're playing the exact same stadium, right? Exact same stadium. So figure it out, NFL. So no, I'm worried about it, but I do not think it's going to be a problem because I'm convinced that they got this thing figured out.
I am very worried about it. I would love to say, nah, it's fine. They have multiple players, like including Jawan Taylor, who have had knee problems, and they have not been practicing at indoor stadiums. And they specifically gave some of his practice snaps to Jalen Moore as a precaution before they fly him there.
2 years ago, Butker got hurt on bad grass in Arizona.
Absolutely.
McDuffie got hurt in that game, not because of grass, I don't think.
No, but the first game of the year, they lost multiple players for weeks, months, because of a poor field. To say that I'm zero concerned is insane.
I don't think I'd play Jawan Taylor because of this.
I gotta play my best player. I gotta play my best right tackle heading into week 1. And as of right this second, he is the best right tackle. If he struggles because of the injury or footing or just isn't any good, that's a different conversation later in the year if Jalen Moore should get an opportunity.
I just think you don't mess with it.
Yeah, but they haven't talked about like that. That's something
It's just more they're going to baby it a huge chunk of the year. He is still coming off the injury, and it's been a little bit sore in camp. Look,
Then why would you?
I hope it's not the main story, but I don't think it'll be a
Why would you mess with it, though, in week 1? If they're babying it and he's coming off the surgery and you're going and you're on turf that has notably been more injury prone, notably with last season, why would you? Jalen Moore can't be that much of a fall off of Jawan Taylor to be like, look, dude, we're not messing around with it.
But then why even put him on the plane, Jalen royals him. Just keep him back if that's what you're going to do.
In case of Jalen Moore gets hurt, I guess. I don't know.
Being protective in preseason and camp is way easier to do and way different than, hey, it's go time. It's week 1 of the regular season. Same with Hollywood Brown. My guess is last week, if the Chiefs had to play a game, Hollywood Brown would have played. They slowed this thing because of his injury history, yes, but also because it was preseason football.
I don't think he wanted to risk it, honestly. I think that there's some report that Hollywood Brown didn't want to risk it, right? I don't want to get hurt before the season starts.
I'm not saying mistakes don't happen, but at this point, especially with how they just operated with the Josh Simmons medical eval, I trust this medical staff more than ever on their evaluation on injury risk and guys being ready to play or not. I mean, how can you not after every other team in the league thought Josh Simmons would not be available? And this medical staff did their own research. They were very confident. They recommended it to Andy and Veach, and they trusted their staff. And boy, oh boy, they were right on the medical side. And I'm going to trust them that they're correct. Yeah. If Jawan Taylor plays, then they feel confident that it's not any different injury risk than any other game. Because, of course, there's always an injury risk. It's the NFL. But I will absolutely trust them heading in that they're not jeopardizing anything with Juwan Taylor by playing on this grass surface tonight or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm worried about it from I don't think that he shouldn't play. I'm just worried.
I was just responding to Drew.
Yeah,
No,
I don't want it to be the story, but I think it'll be a story. There'll be some play where some guy slips and falls, and you're like, oh, probably should have had the coverage there. You just hope it doesn't impact the game. A game in bad field conditions doesn't ruin the whole mood. But as you know, in Arizona, it cost the team multiple players for multiple games. And I pray it's not that.
All right, up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll talk about Justin Herbert a little bit. What do we make of him now in 2025? That's coming up next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in Missouri. So tonight, you can be on your couch watching football, making those selections over at Underdog. Playing at Underdog is easy. You just choose whether your players will go higher or lower than their stats, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions. Talking about those with Mahomes, right? The interceptions, maybe you think it's going to be lower than 0.5 tonight. And you think that offensive line is going to keep him healthy, and they're going to be able to go that way as well. Plus, you can make ladder selections, make 3 to 5 picks, and progressively win more based on how well each team and each pick performs, with a little on a decent night and a lot on a great night, up to 250 times your money. Each pick has 3 rungs to it. All of your picks have to hit a rung in order to get that payout, but each streak, which is also available, you start by making 2 picks. If both picks are correct, the next pick for the streak becomes available. Get 11 correct, and the prize is yours. These are all available tonight on the Missouri side as you get your football action kicked off. Download the app, sign up with promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
Today only, get your official Chiefs flag at your nearest Community America Credit Union branch. And while you're there, enter to win tickets to the Chiefs season opener at Arrowhead Stadium. Flag sales benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City. Today only, get yours before they're gone.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these great game day specials. 8 wings and a basket of tots for $12 plus $4 domestic OP cups. The other place, the next best thing to being at the game.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and stories from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is heading to Missouri. The wait will soon be over. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's tons of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line, over-unders, to which team you think is going to cut down the nets or win the championship. Build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even bet on who you think will score the next touchdown in the game that you're watching. and the one after that. So mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to the good side, Missouri, on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your home is more than just another listing. It's your life's work. Dawn and the Sharp Homes team treat every property as their own, employing innovative marketing strategies and providing personal attention that transforms for sale signs into sold celebrations. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Then contact the only agent I would trust to sell my home. Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Google Sharp Homes team. That's Sharp Homes team today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
If you are 50 or older, it is recommended that you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're an adult 19 to 49 with certain underlying medical conditions like asthma, diabetes, chronic heart disease, or COPD, vaccination is also recommended. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. Furnished by the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
What's up, Casey? It's Chris Jones. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Klang on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC-FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Number 1 on What's Trending, it is game day. Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff. You can hear it here on 96.5 The Fan. Pregame begins at 4 o'clock. Josh Brisco anchors our coverage this afternoon. A little injury news, though, on the Chargers front in the last half hour or so. Mekhi Becton, one of their starting guards, has now been added to the injury list with what they're calling an illness. He is listed as questionable. Now, they've got a couple hours, obviously, for things to sort out. We have no idea. Food poisoning, bug, whatever. I don't know, right? You're in another country, you travel, you never know what is going on. But that could be a significant loss if, in fact, he does not play. We'll see.
7 hours until kickoff right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Just 7 hours. Then you can actually watch the Chiefs play football.
Yes,
nice.
Let's go.
Next up on What's Trending on the Fan AM tonight, the Royals will take on the, now I forgot who they're playing. Minnesota Twins at home at Kauffman Stadium. They got the final game of the series against LA 4-3 last night. 4 solo home runs being the 4 runs that they got.
Hey,
also bad news, though, although it was just what looked like to be a pushed back start originally for Seth Lugo. He was in place on the IL yesterday, so it'll be one of the other new guys, Stephen Kolek, making the start for him this weekend. He'll probably continue to be in the rotation. So right now the rotation is Bergert, Kolek, Noah Cameron, Walker. Who's the fifth? Who am I missing now?
Lorenzen.
And Lorenzen. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Cole Reagans did pitch a Injury-free, issue-free bullpen.
Okay.
Yesterday or the day before, his ass can't get back soon enough based on the injuries. There's still 2 games back, only 2 games back right now of a wild card spot.
Next on What's Trending, Border War tomorrow in Columbia, Missouri. 2:30 kickoff. KU-MU. You got K-State against Army at 6 o'clock. But Border War, we'll have Carrington in for fan club, maybe. We offered. We'll see if he shows up. 1 o'clock hour today.
I've been told that is to be determined.
Now it's to be determined. What a coward.
Oh, no. So, hang on. Do you want me to peel back the curtain?
Yes.
All right. So, Rob came in.
Oh, boy.
And I said, hey, we'd love to have Seat Out on for fan club.
He said he'd do it.
At some point. So Rob said, well, he's working on his documentary. I don't know what time he gets in. He said he'd be here at 12:30, so that could mean 12:30 or 2.
Here's the problem. Carrington volunteered to come in.
So he should.
We said we'll take you.
He should be here.
He agreed to come on. He has to work 2 whole hours on the show today before Brisco does the rest of the job for him. He better be here.
I asked Rob.
He better be here today.
So I'm going to try to pay attention at 12:30, and I'll ask Rob or Spec as well if need be. When he gets in, tell him to come in here or let me know, and I'll try to extend the invitation in person.
I can't call Gold afraid to go to Columbia, and he's even afraid to come on this show. Next up on What's Trending, the Eagles win the NFL opener last night, 24-21. A 1-hour lightning delay slowed things down there a little bit on their end. Other NFL news, Christian McCaffrey, who has not been injured at any point during preseason, was added to the 49ers injury list yesterday.
I don't trust the Niners
with
injury
a calf injury. Anytime it is a lower leg injury for Christian McCaffrey, I'd be a little worried.
I don't trust the injury report for San Francisco after what happened last year with Jordan Mason or whoever their backup running back was. That was like, oh, he's not available, and he ended up playing perfectly fine 5 minutes before the game or something like that. Yep. Next up on What's Trending, I know you're a big fan of this. More exhibition boxing.
Just a sign that the sport is dead.
Mike Tyson.
Not dying, dead.
Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather are going to fight in an exhibition next year.
Mike Tyson is
can't wait for the pregame shot of Mike Tyson's ass out.
I forgot about that. Yes. That is true.
This is not like, some people over-exaggerate, like, baseball's dying, college football's dying. Boxing is dead. It's not dying. It died. It is a dead, irrelevant sport that we don't have to care about.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Yeah.
It's irrelevant. UFC, there's a million sports more interesting.
They aren't even doing pay-per-view boxing like that really anymore, are they? I mean,
there's a bit like Crawford and Spence and these other. When they're big fights in person, I will say they're fun. But as far as watching it on pay-per-view, these are not like. Also, this is not boxing. These are exhibition money grabs. That's all this is. Like I don't even count this though. Like this isn't even boxing as far as I'm concerned.
The last time I remember caring about boxing or matches when I thought Floyd Mayweather was actively dodging Pacquiao in his prime, only to fight him way after his prime. And I was like, doesn't count. His undefeated asterisks. He just choosing to fight.
We're just in this, I don't know what the official name should be, but between Paul and now these exhibition fights, it's just the joke era of boxing is basically what we're in. It's always been a problem and sketchy anyway with the different promoters and all that. Like boxing's always been very, very sketchy.
Paul needs to actually fight somebody for real. Like this is no exhibition money grab thing. This is you're going into a ring against a legit boxer who's in his prime right now and you're fighting him. That's where we maybe get it back a little bit.
The biggest boxing star is a YouTube guy. And he doesn't even pick real fights either. So it's dead.
That is What's Trending. Here on Cody and Gold. Let's talk about Justin Herbert a little bit, and then we'll get back into our season-long picks. And obviously, we'll give our Super Bowl picks as well. We haven't done that.
Yeah,
We've told you who we think are making the playoffs.
We'd all made our decision before the game last night. And last night's game shouldn't have impacted your decision-making anyway.
Yeah, I'm not changing anything based off of last night.
Hey, man, that fullback that got hurt on the first play of the game, I don't know about the Eagles anymore, man.
Yeah.
Gotta question it now.
What do you guys make of Herbert? This is 2025 now for Justin Herbert. You step back a little bit. He was the 6th overall pick all the way back in 2020. All right, he's 27 years old now. He's been through a couple head coaches. Last year, he leads them to 11 wins. His stat line, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks, so he doesn't doesn't turn the ball over.
He's safe with it,
3,800 yards, middle of the road, average quarterback that, skill-wise should be far better than what he's been.
I think he is better Trevor Lawrence in the sense that physically he can do throwing the football things most guys in the NFL can't. He possesses a certain arm strength and accuracy that I think very few guys possess. There's something off. I think he's like the 10th best, 12th best quarterback. He's the kind of guy that you certainly are never trading in, similar to what they had in Phillip Rivers. He's going to put up some yards. He's going to put up some touchdowns, although he's not even putting up the yards and touchdowns that Rivers used to. But I don't know that he'll ever have enough in order to jump over it. Look, part of the problem is when he got drafted, Anthony Lynn was the head coach. Then they gave him Staley right away. Now he's had to switch to Harbaugh. So do I think they're doing him any favors by constantly changing his offensive scheme, constantly changing his offensive coordinators? No, I don't. But at the same time, he's been given good teams. He's had top 10 defenses in his time. He's had weapons on offense that would necessitate at least some level of performance.
So that's where I push back a little bit on.
I said some off.
I push back on, like, I'd have to go. The wide receiver, is Ladd McConkey the best wide receiver he's had?
I'd guess prime Mike Williams or Keenan Allen.
Prime Keenan Allen.
Prime Keenan Allen?
He was picked in 2019 or 2020.
Keenan Allen. I mean, I would guess that was probably
5 years ago.
So Keenan Allen is his best wide receiver he's had in his NFL career.
Gosh,
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, probably. I mean, who led them in receiving yards last year? It might have been Austin Eckler. For all
last year, Ladd McConkey.
No, yeah, it was McConkey.
Right. Ladd McConkey. Yeah.
2 years ago.
Eckler's on the Commanders.
2 years ago, it might have been Eckler.
Anyway, my point is just like, I hear what you're saying, and he has underachieved, no question. He has underachieved based off of being the 6th overall pick. Based off of,
haven't done him any favors.
I just don't know, like, if we can act like he's had this enormous amount of weapons around him. But, you know, the offense he's in now is also, I would argue, constraining him as well. Harbaugh's going to be more of a run-first type of offense. There was a stretch of like 4 weeks last year where Herbert, they unleashed him, and he looked great. And so I don't know what their plan is going to be. They did spend a top pick on a running back, so and it wasn't on a wide receiver in back-to-back years. They do draft Harris a couple rounds later. I'm just interested to see. I don't think anybody's trying to say he's in the conversation as being a top 8 quarterback or anything like that, but I think he's on the front half of the league, right? I think he's the 12th best quarterback or something like that. He's in that range with the ability, though, on a given night because of his skill set. Like tonight, he can throw for 320 tonight and 4 touchdowns. Yeah. He's more than capable of doing that. This isn't some guys like just not capable of it. But he hasn't won a single big game.
I will say,
one single big game.
I know.
Oh, and
other than the because he lost that Jags game in which they were up like 30 or whatever.
He blew the game against Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. I think he's in the same position as Trevor Lawrence, where it's not it, but it feels like if he's ever going to be considered an elite quarterback again, he has to make the playoffs. He has to win a playoff game. Otherwise, he might just be fine.
But here's Herbert's problem is that he has physical gifts, but the reason why he's not going to do what you're saying, Drew, is he doesn't even have the problem of that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow have, which is get past Mahomes. He has to get past those 3 guys first. He can't even get to a playoff game against Patrick Mahomes. He has to beat Burrow, Allen, or Jackson in a playoff game. He is going to go down as one of the better statistical quarterbacks to have accomplished nothing. That's the truth. I think at this point with him, I genuinely
think... That's why I'm saying he's in the same position as Trevor Lawrence. He has to do something.
Now, the difference between him and Trevor Lawrence is, and this is where I think he gets knocked, I think he's better Trevor Lawrence in the sense that he still has... Trevor Lawrence does not have a single impressive, in my opinion, statistical season where you're like, wow, look what you did there. Justin Herbert, his second year in the league, threw 38 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. The year after that, threw for 4,800 yards, 25 and 10. And last year, to his credit, almost 4,000 yards, 23 and 3. He puts together some statistical seasons that look pretty damn impressive. They've just gotten more conservative with him, which is weird. And maybe some of that gold is the weapons, to your point, because when he's putting up the big numbers, it was the Keenan Allen, Mike Williams combo, which I actually think is a pretty good receiving combo, with a healthy Austin Eckler and a defense that can back you up a little bit, versus last year where, he has Ladd McConkey, but not a lot to go with it.
Yeah, but two things can be true with him. Like we can all he's not one of the top quarterbacks, but he also doesn't stink. And I feel like what happens a lot of times as we get 3 months from now, people are like, Herbert, that guy sucks. No, he doesn't suck. Like what are we doing? Like now the stat everybody does love to cite with Herbert that it's a nice stat for him, but also like again, I'll ask you what big game has he won? He's got the 3rd most game-winning drives someone texted in since he's entered the league.
Didn't Derek Carr have something like that too?
What does he have to show?
Didn't Derek Carr have that too?
What do they have to show for that?
No, so, Cody, I went back and looked. He hasn't even played Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen in the playoffs. He lost to the Jaguars and then Houston last season when C.J. Stroud was getting hit a half a second after the ball snapped.
That's my point. My problem is that some people just don't like. I actually think, I don't know what happened, probably like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, somewhere in modern NFL media, people decided to say that quarterback wins don't mean anything. Like it's a meaningless stat. It is not a meaningless stat. I'm not saying it is the only stat. It is not a meaningless stat. Justin Herbert can put up all the numbers he wants. He is 41-38 in his NFL career, including his playoff losses. If he loses his games to the Chiefs, he will be a perfect 41-41. For a guy that is supposed to be as good as he is, that is an unacceptable winning percentage. Burrow, Allen, Jackson, all those guys win football games at a significantly higher rate.
Yeah, and there's a ton of factors that go. I get into this debate with.
I'm not saying it's not the most important.
Yeah, I get into this debate with.
It matters.
I get to a show with Grant, who does radio in DC, but on Saturdays, like tomorrow from 9 to 11, I'll bet MGM Network. It's a betting show. We talk a lot about obviously the Chiefs because they're front and center, and we get into the whole Josh Allen Mahomes thing in the playoffs. And I always bring up they continue to predict that Josh Allen's going to beat Mahomes in the playoffs, and I'll be like, even this year, people are on the show are already trying to predict that this is the year. I'm like, I haven't seen it, and they'll say, well, I'm not big on the win-loss stuff. There's so many factors that go into why a team loses, sure. But acting like, let's say Josh Allen, I know we're talking about Herbert, but for the same kind of
winning
point.
Doesn't matter.
At some point, if Josh Allen's 0-7, we can't just say, oh, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, no, at some point, you got to win a freaking game against the guy.
If Mahomes went 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns this year, but the team missed the playoffs at 8-9, something went wrong. Mahomes did some things wrong in some football games, and those wins matter. He didn't just give up 55 in the games.
If we're also looking,
wins and losses matter.
I've also seen Phillip Rivers' name come up. He's not as good as Phillip Rivers either. Phillip Rivers.
Let's see what his career looks like. I think it's like to say what we already know.
Phillip Rivers won a playoff game in the second year of his career and has been. Didn't he go to an AFC title game?
Yes, I believe.
These are they're similar, sure.
But the career's not over for Herbert. Phillip Rivers was 5-7 in the playoffs. He did go to 12 games, but he was 5-7.
In fairness to him, though, Justin Herbert's entire career, he is going to have Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen to go through. Phillip Rivers had Peyton and Tom, but Phillip still got there amidst it.
Sure, but Phillip Rivers did not have Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in his own division. He didn't have one of those guys in his division he played in. Phillip Rivers did not have Mahomes in his division. You know what I'm saying? Like, Justin Herbert is, and this is weird because you think I'm defending Herbert. This goes back to where I think sometimes he gets unfairly criticized.
Yeah,
the Phillip Rivers comparison, I disagree with that at this point in time, or saying he's not going to have the same career, or he's not better when we'll find out where it's over, but people have overinflated Phillip Rivers' postseason success in his path. It was a much easier path. When the Chiefs were, no disrespect for some of these Chiefs quarterbacks I'm about to mention, he was going up against Alex Smith for much of his career. He was going up against some bad Chiefs teams earlier in his career as well. He never was facing Tom Brady and Manning on a regular basis.
This is why I do still think wins matter. So statistically, they are the same guy. The first 5 years, Phillip Rivers was the starter. Remember, he sat 2 years behind Drew Brees. The first 5 years, Phillip Rivers was the starter. Gold, he threw for 19,500 yards, 135 touchdowns, and 57 interceptions. First 5 years of Justin Herbert's career, 21,000 yards, a little bit better, 137 touchdowns, 45 interceptions. Those are shockingly similar stats.
How many playoff wins in the same stretch?
Now, this is where I would say Phillip Rivers' record during those 5 seasons, 55-25. Herbert will be 500 if he loses this game tonight. 55-25. He had a 14-win, 11-win, 13-win season during that time. And won 2 playoff games during that stretch. Lost plenty of others. But like that's the thing with Herbert that I think we underestimate because it's a thing I can't measure. Some guys...
The dog in him. He doesn't have that dog in him.
Yes. You know, Drew, I'm going to agree with your phrasing even on it, you know? He doesn't have that dog in him, Gold. I don't know what to say.
He won't put his hand into your chest and rip your heart out. He can't do it.
It's weird because every once in a while he makes those throws. That game when his knee was all messed up against the Chiefs and he was still like dropping dimes in the middle of the field, he lost that game still.
Yeah, we'd have to do a deeper dive, and ultimately this will be the end of the year. But I believe Phillip Rivers also had the #1 defense multiple times in his career. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into this, but
sure, the wins and the losses,
I think Herbert would be properly rated in the 12th best quarterback, but he doesn't suck.
I think I'm not a win-loss
People just act
guy.
like he's terrible.
No, that's insane. He is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL, but there's something off.
Yeah, someone says Rivers had Manning in his division. Yeah, the final 2 years of his career when he was about to retire.
Relax,
Stop.
that doesn't count.
Come on now. Stop.
Relax. He was in a division.
I guess
LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer. Antonio Gates, Hall of Famer.
In fairness to Justin Herbert, he doesn't have Antonio
Hall of
Gates
Famer?
or LT.
What Hall of Famer is Justin Herbert playing with?
Khalil Mack, right now. What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Khalil Mack will get in the Hall of Fame.
Offensive weapons.
He will.
You noticed I mentioned LT and Gates, offensive weapons.
I mean, he might have played. Did he play with Gates? Did Herbert get any time with Gates?
I do not know. I don't know if there was crossover.
Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are not Hall of
Nope.
Famers. It was a nice wide receiver duo.
The answer is he's not playing with any Hall of Famer offensively.
That's correct.
In fairness to him for that. Yes.
Anyway, we'll see. Let's just see. Also, let's find out how the dude's career is going to end.
Yeah. Before we just decide.
I hope it begins tonight with a loss again.
What is this? Is this year 7?
5 or 6, right? He was
you
drafted
are-
in 2020.
But think about I feel bad for almost any quarterback that Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson. You have to go to accomplish anything. You are most likely, because you're never winning the division, going to have to beat 3 of them. Do you realize the impossibility of that challenge? 2 to 3 of them you are going to have to beat to win a Super Bowl. It's never going to happen. Herbert's playoff numbers will always look bad. My thing is, you should find a way to get some more regular season wins. They made the playoffs last year. They got a functional head coach. They didn't have to deal with Brandon Staley, dummy. And, Anthony Lynn before that, also a bad coach.
He also has to
maybe he's got a good coach. Maybe he'll make the playoffs more regular.
In fairness to him, though, if you're playing Trevor Lawrence or C.J. Stroud, you have to win that game. And he's lost both of them in the playoffs. You have to win that game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
If you're going to be in that conversation.
We got to make our official Super Bowl picks. You got the Chargers winning it all, Colt? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, it sounds like, I'm such a huge fan of Justin Herbert now.
Look, here's the truth. I thought about it really hard on my Final Four, and I'll give them to you real quick so that everybody's got time. On the NFC side, I have the Detroit Lions against the Green Bay Packers, so I'm back in the NFC North.
Okay.
I think those 2 teams going that way. And on the AFC side, I want to select the Ravens. But based on the way we laid out our seeds yesterday, I can't actually select them to be in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. They would face the Chiefs in Arrowhead in the second round of the playoffs. So I'm lying to myself on one end of this. I actually think the Chiefs and the Ravens are the 2 best teams. So if I just ignore how I seeded them as a prediction, I would say Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, Packers. If you force me into the way I pick the seeds, I'd say Chiefs, Bills, Lions, Packers, Chiefs, Lions in the Super Bowl, Chiefs win.
Yeah, so it's going to be boring on the AFC side. It's going to be Chiefs and Bills again, AFC title game.
Pretty used to it.
That's where we're headed. Josh Allen, this will be the year. Everybody will be saying that week. Chiefs, Bills, AFC title game. The Bills are the 1 seed, so we'll be in Buffalo. Final year of their current stadium. Chiefs have a chance to get the last win in their building. Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? Last win in their old building. Kansas City could do that in the AFC title game. I would love that. On the NFC side, I have the Packers in the NFC title game against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh, so the team that my outside shot to win the Super Bowl.
The Tampa Bay Bucks for this. For the sake of this convo, I'm basing it off of the seeding too. That's the tricky part.
I did that. That's why I ended up with the Bills.
And so before I get started with Drew, who are your Final Four?
Final Four in the AFC. I've been on record. The Chiefs are not making it to the AFC title game for the first time in Mahomes' career.
Okay.
They're going to lose to the Ravens, who are going to go to the Super Bowl.
And beat who in the AFC title game?
The Bengals. The Bengals are going to beat the Bills. The Bills,
So Bengals, Ravens, AFC title game is who you have.
Ravens get to the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Who do you have on the NFC side?
NFC side, I've got the Packers and Philly. I'm not going to base off last night at all whatsoever. I have Philly going to the Super Bowl. Ravens, Philly. It's a bird Super Bowl, and the Ravens are going to win the whole thing. Lamar Jackson finally gets it.
So another AFC North team, but not your team.
Yep, the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
You know,
okay.
at least he's back in the reality game. I like that.
His key, you notice though, his key is as long as the Chiefs don't win, he's going to be happy. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in his voice.
No, I didn't say that. And I also
he's willing to pick his team's biggest rival potentially.
No. If I were to pick, I
they have the best roster in the league.
I think the Ravens are better. I think the
least.
Ravens can beat the Chiefs, and they're going to in the playoffs.
Lamar will have to play a lot better.
Who was your 14 Bucks against?
I had Bucks, Packers. So I have. Finally, it's going to happen. Packers, Chiefs, Super Bowl.
Hey,
been talking about this for 5 years.
I know.
I feel
just been waiting. All those
Packers,
years we were like,
Chiefs.
is Mahomes ever going to face
Who are you going to pick?
I wonder, Drew.
Oh, yeah. You're only wearing the team you're about to pick.
He won
Here's the
5
thing.
of 6.
You can't
They've gone to Super Bowl 5 of 6 years.
You cannot give me crap for picking the Chiefs.
No, I'm not giving you any crap.
But you
I'm
are.
just-
You
no.
said shocker.
Oh, you definitely did.
You absolutely are. And that's fine. You can't say that and act like I'm doing it as a homer when the team has been to 5 of them and won 3. And since Cody and I have been doing the show, they've won 3. So me picking the Chiefs. In fact, if
not a homer pick
if
anymore.
I don't pick the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, I would have been wrong way more times.
I never said it's a homer pick, but Who would you? You're only wearing the team's gear. Like we know
you
who you're going to pick.
You picked the Bengals to win the Super Bowl
True,
last year.
I wore Chiefs gear in 2013. I wasn't picking the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I can promise you that.
Well, yeah, and in 2010, I wasn't picking the Bengals to win the Super Bowl either.
That's my point. Yes.
I didn't just call you a homer. I'm just saying it's no surprise.
You said you're wearing Chiefs gear, so you clearly have to pick them, is what you said.
Well yeah.
I would
assume so.
If Mahomes is not the quarterback, or if Andy Reid retires, or if all of a sudden the team roster construction sucks next year, I will not pick them. But this year, I think they're in great shape.
That's part of it, is that, and I get that because like we do enough of these radio hits. Like, oh, homer pick. I'm like, there was a time in which I think you could legitimately claim that. The Chiefs have played in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. I'm like, all I'm doing is like, in a weird way, I'm being more of a just contrarian just to be a contrarian if I choose the Chiefs to miss it. Like, Drew, you're going more out on a limb.
Correct.
Saying they're out of the AFC title game than I am saying they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fine.
I'm not going out on a limb.
Agreed.
That's where they live. They live
don't have
in
to
the
have
Super
the
Bowl.
same picks.
100%.
Yeah. Ravens over who, Drew? Who did you say make the...
the Bengals beat the Bills in the division round, so it's Ravens over Bengals.
Oh, no, in the Super Bowl. Ravens over
Philly.
Philly, okay. All right, I couldn't remember who I couldn't remember who your other NFC team was. Was it the Packers?
Yes.
Everybody likes the Packers, huh?
Well, hard not to.
Big Jordan Love guy.
That Micah Parsons trade feels important.
Seems fairly significant at this point.
Just a little bit.
At this point in time. All right, up next, let's talk a little bit more about last night and what we can take away from that, how it could impact the rest of the NFL season, plus the random question of the day.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Trey Smith. You're listening to Cody and Gold weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Football's back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in the state of Missouri. And playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on certain stats, like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash, and you can play with as little as $1. I love combining entries from multiple sports into one selection to see what I can do. The Underdog app is awesome. Download the app today and sign up with promo code BOB to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan and the other place, especially with these amazing game day specials. 14-inch two-topping pizzas for just $12 and $4 domestic OP cups. The other place with 5 great Kansas City Metro locations.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody
Laughing
Tapp.
at multiple things. Jokes I won't tell on the
Drew
air
Nixon.
that I was telling to Alex before. And then someone's very mad at Drew. Drew, this person hates you on the text line.
You are getting destroyed.
They
dude,
hate capsing your
2 days
ass.
in a row. 2 days in a row, this gentleman. We're giving
no.
him too much attention, probably. But
Do you know why he's getting mad at me? Is because yesterday I told him to stay off the text line, like I told him to get off the text line, like Vern
this
told
guy
him to people to get off the phone line.
He
won't stop.
I have to censor the text a little bit. I can't read verbatim. It says, the podcast, all caps, don't go on Vern's podcast because the interviews aren't on his show, Drew. That doesn't make any effing sense, Drew. Josh Vern doesn't have his own show or producer
I went at him yesterday.
unless you count the pregame show and the postgame show. And they, all caps, the fan bosses won't let Vern add the pregame show.
Which is not true.
For everyone to hear. I used to like you, Drew. Now I think you're an idiot.
Let's go.
Just
Let's
post
go.
the post-game show. He comes on your dumb show to make it better, and you refuse to do him a solid and make sure he's on his own podcast for everybody to hear.
I'm going to text,
What you do to this guy?
I'm going to take a picture of
Why are you
this.
just sticking on the podcast page? Get this guy off your ass.
No, I'm taking a picture of this and sending it to Vern. Because it's not because Cody.
This guy.
Cody. Vern is joining the Cody and Gold show. Guess where I'm going to post the interview? On the Cody and Gold page, which is where the morning show puts it and where the drive puts it.
I guess I am a little bit
Don't get mad at me because I answered the text message and just gave you the reason instead of ignored you. That might be worse.
I guess I am a little bit confused in that he obviously wants to listen to Vern's appearance on Wednesday here on the show. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Vern's great. This show's great. So obviously you'd want to listen to Vern. Come on this show on Wednesday. It's on our page. You can just go listen to it there. Does he only want to listen to Vern if Vern gets credit?
I don't know, but he's only mad at me. He's not mad at Mac or Rob, who do the exact same thing, by the way.
Sure? Have you double-checked Vern's page?
He said the truth is Drew will not do his job and put Josh Vernier on the All Things Vern podcast.
He said you're not doing your job.
Let's go back and see if the All Things Vern podcast includes the interview that Bob and Dusty did with him earlier. Like, y'all need it. I love the energy, though.
He is.
I love the energy, though.
Yeah, this guy.
You're bringing it. You're bringing it.
I'll tell you right now, if I offer that guy crown seats for tonight, I know where he's going. I know. Given the choice,
I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to Vern, just so he knows that somebody is on his side, ride or die, 10 toes down.
Yeah.
Team Vernier.
All right, let's talk a little NFL. Last night, we got our first sneak preview of the Chiefs' second opponent of the season when we saw the Cowboys and Eagles last night. And we'll talk more about the Jalen Carter spitting incident, which took place here in just a minute, because the Tirico audio on it is incredible. The Dak audio is pretty good. And obviously, Jalen Carter himself talked about it after, although it didn't seem like he really said sorry to Dak Prescott. Instead, insinuated that he instigated it. My initial takeaway on the Eagles is kind of interesting. One, division games can work this way. The Cowboys are a good enough team they can make it interesting. Gold, you and I both talked about the fact that we thought the spread was too high because Micah Parsons was gone. I feel like it kind of got blown out on top. And the Eagles are the defending champs, so that was part of it. The Eagles, one, impressed me because they got the best linebacker crew in the NFL. It's nuts. Those guys cover 30 yards down the field without any issue. They are very, very, very good linebackers. Their secondary stinks. Their linebackers cover better than their corners. That was like the biggest takeaway I felt like in that game last night for me from a defensive standpoint is I don't think the Eagles are going to be quite as good defensively as they were last year, where they still had great linebackers, but the cornerback room I thought was a lot better last year, and the defensive line was better last year for the Eagles. I think they're a little more vulnerable on that end. I can't really complain about a first game, though. Man, we got offense in the first half. Up until the lightning delay, it was perfect.
It was a great game. Yeah, the delay stunk for an hour, and a lot of people went to bed, and you really didn't miss any scoring after that. But I was very much entertained by the game. I thought the Cowboys' defense was what we thought it was going to be. They're going to be missing Micah Parsons immensely, and it was so evident, especially with a mobile quarterback and Jalen Hurts. I mean, maybe if they go up against a pocket passer, which two of them in their division are not.
Jaden Daniels can obviously move, and so can
that's going to be a problem for them. I thought Dak was let down by CeeDee Lamb multiple times, clearly down the stretch, but I thought Dak looked good in the game.
I thought he looked
I
really
know the stat
good.
line you're going to say, $185. What are you talking about? If you watch the game, you know that CeeDee Lamb should have caught at least 2, if not 3 more balls. I think they should have won the football game. They played well enough to win. They really did. And then ultimately, the Eagles' defense did come up with the stop when it was needed.
Got that fumble.
The Cowboys are going to be in the range still that we kind of thought. I think they're going to be an 8 to 9 win football team. The Eagles are going to win the NFC East. For the first time, we'll see back-to-back division champs in the East for, it's been 20,
like the early 2000s, right?
20-something years. What I'm confused by, that we won't know till next week, was the Eagles' defensive front not good? Or is it just, hey, Jalen Carter's that good, and once he's back, it changes everything for them, and the Chiefs are going to have to deal with that next week?
Yeah, that is a huge question. Obviously, they're better with Jalen Carter. None of us are insane. But they did not get a ton of pressure on Dak. And I guess it's worth noting, and I'm sure you guys knew this on the broadcast just the same, the Cowboys had to really kind of rework their offensive line, and they had a rookie at guard, and there were some questions about how that unit would be able to hold up against the Eagles. And last night, without Jalen Carter, it was really not a problem, honestly. So with Jalen Carter, will they look better? Will they be more comfortable? That we will find out. And then the whole Carter thing. I mean, what kind of idiot spits on the starting quarterback before the game even starts, essentially. I have no idea what he's saying. Plus all the weird broadcast stuff. They went that lightning delay and Jason Garrett's telling people to take their pants off.
I think he said pads, but the way with his accent and how quickly he said it, it sounded like pants. I went back and listened. I actually think he said, I tell them go in there, take the pads off, but like it sounded like pants.
You know, I know Chiefsaholics in jail for robbery, but
geez.
get Jason Garrett in there too. That man's stealing money. He's the worst broadcaster out of any of the shows.
This is like
terrible.
the third year he's gotten the call.
Yeah, it's awful. He's stealing money from NBC at this point. Besides that, my dislike for Jason Garrett on the broadcast. It did sound like pants.
It was great to have football back on last night.
It really was. That part was just enjoyable, and the game was high scoring at first. There's no defense. That's more fun. Eagles were pass interfering on seemingly every. And by the way, none of them were like little ticky-tack calls, although easily. And we talked about this when they first announced it. Man, I am going to get tired of those taunting penalties if we're going to do this every day. If we're going to do this for every single
tonight, man,
one guy flexing over another, if we're going to do this much for the first month of the season, those taunting calls, those are drive killers. Those are 15-yard penalties.
They should not be taunting penalties the league's focusing on. I'm with you. With that said, if I'm the Chiefs or any other team, you can't do it then. Like, I know yours like easier said than done, Gold. This is not the same as defenseless receiver and how you're asking someone to defy gravity and stop midair. I'm saying, while we can agree that the taunting penalties, none of us want them. Nobody's, oh my God, like is scarred for life because someone
Nobody's asking for this change.
Because someone barks something at another player, okay? None of us want that. However, if you know they are going to call it, which we now know they are, then you just have to be smarter if you're the Chiefs tonight. If there's any moment, I don't care, you come with a huge play on defense. If you're Chris Jones, pick whoever. Nick Bolton, I don't know, random Chief player. You just can't do it. I know we could disagree with it being called, but you cannot cost your team the game if you know that this is clearly a rules emphasis. But yes, I think we're going to be annoyed by seeing these taunting calls. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the Chiefs tonight.
Do you think that Jalen Carter will be suspended?
No.
I don't know either.
He's going to get a huge fine.
I think he should be.
I just don't think the league does that. Yeah, I just don't think that's... To me, last night, I know the ejection doesn't mean he doesn't get paid, and that's the argument. If that's why you're saying he should be suspended. If you're saying he should be suspended, is it because he got paid while he was ejected?
I think that when you're ejected in the game, I think they would suspend him for the game against the Chiefs. He got ejected in the fourth quarter. And I think that's a bad way to operate. If you're ejected from the game for an unsportsmanlike act in which if that happened in the middle of the third quarter or the middle of the fourth quarter.
College football for targeting, depending on what half you're ejected, it's different.
I don't think it should be. I think just because I missed that game, I did the same crime. It doesn't, I did the same thing.
Targeting in the first quarter is different than targeting in the fourth quarter in college football.
I don't think it should be. I think that when you commit the penalty should be on equal footing depending on what it is. And look, it's pretty clear that all the league talking people, they all got the same text today and they all sent out the same thing that said, but he was pretty much already suspended for that other game. So I think it's fairly obvious Jalen Carter will not be suspended. But this goes back to the taunting thing. The NFL wrings its hands at the smallest conceivable thing. One guy flexes over him because he hit him. Let's do 15 yards. Let's impact an entire game. Let's show the guy. Another man commits, in a normal circumstance, not on a football field, assault on somebody, spits in their face, and we're like, probably just let that one go. I mean, I understand they kicked him out of that game.
He got punished. He got ejected. You're acting like he was allowed to play.
No, but I think that it should be you're taking these things serious. Give the guy a game. It does so happen they play the Chiefs next week.
That's all this is. That's all this is. Cody just wants him not available. Reasons. Look, if they want to do it, you're not going to hear me complaining.
Oh boy, the conspiracy theorist.
Do I think he will be suspended? No, and I have no problem with him not being suspended. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You wouldn't hear the end of it if he actually got suspended for that game.
Oh, I know. That was the smart Alec text I sent out or tweet I sent out last night was, can you believe the NFL made Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott so he won't be there for the Chiefs next week? Can you guys believe the league forced him to do that?
I'll just tell you right now, that will be a talking point on NFL Talking. They'll be like, here it is, back helping out the Chiefs because Jalen Carter isn't available. I did like that they didn't look quite as daunting as the last time I watched the Eagles play football.
Well, that was one of the more impressive Super Bowl performances we've ever seen.
Last time I saw that, not as good. And certainly not as, I don't know, the taunting stuff. And you know what? Here, correct me if I'm wrong if you're on the other side of this. 913-586-7965. Do any of you care? Because I don't care. I don't care if one man taunts another man on a football field.
No,
I think I actually think it's part of the fun of it.
The whole gun thing, though, to Briscoe's point, needs to go away. All that stuff has got to go.
Fine. The guy can't fire.
That's different.
Yeah,
but if Nick Bolton comes up with a massive hit on Omari and Hampton tonight, and he wants to bark a little bit back,
he should be allowed to.
He should be allowed to. As I said, though, I don't like the rule, but in this hypothetical, Nick Bolton has to be smart enough not to do it then tonight. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't like the rule, but also, like, if you do it 2 times tonight and it costs you 30 yards in penalties, I don't feel bad for you either. I guess that's where I'm at on the rule. That's all.
Yeah, I just like, I don't, yes. If you know that they're emphasizing it, don't get busted for it, but maybe just don't have it as a rule in the first place.
Nobody's watching TV with their kids and be like, oh my gosh.
I don't cover Ruby's eyes like, oh no, he stood over that and
he pointed
flexed
at him
his arms a little.
He went and did. He tapped his head after he mossed him. You know.
He did the.
Come on now.
He did. Could you imagine he did this near him after an incompletion? Yeah, no. It's my kids have seen. I imagine much worse.
100%.
Random question.
He's doing like the sword celebration. If he locks him down, he
Yeah.
I do like that people have switched to other things. Like for a while, John Morant couldn't stop doing the gun celebration, so he switched to
that thing caught on though. Everybody was doing that celebration. He had big leaguers doing it.
I know.
He had guys hitting home runs and doing the celebration.
I know, which is like I guess I don't know, less regular in our lives, so it's fine. The random question today brought to you by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. We'll play a little piece of audio first, and then I will ask my follow-up question. This audio is Michael Irvin explaining how he used to keep $1 million check on his nightstand in order to impress women.
That first check. Let me get the card. Give me one of the card. That's my check right there, y'all. That check, that $1 million check, I left that right there on the table, right in my room. So as soon as they walked in, they said, "That's your check?" And started. I had my financial people calling me, telling me, "Man, send that check, Michael. We're losing. I said, "Shoot, I'm winning. What you talking about? I'm winning like a mug, boy."
So
he purposely left $1 million check so any women he brought back would see it, and he said, "Oh, they were ready at that point in time."
He's like just taking off his
started
shirt.
taking the clothes off right as they saw it on the table. Wow. Okay.
Since that is not an option for either of you, or I assume many of the
after that Powerball win tomorrow night, you know,
then you can't have that $1 million check.
Yeah,
you just have the big, big check. You just have to lean up against the wall.
That shows $2 billion.
Lean
cash
up against
value
the wall.
like $800 million. Yeah.
They don't care about the cash value at that point. I don't think any of us can conceptualize $800 million. So the random question I have for you today is, what do you think a regular person could leave on their nightstand or in their bedroom that would impress a member of the opposite sex? So like,
This is a good question.
Girl's coming over.
This is a good question. It's a tough one too.
Yeah, you got to think about it. You got a girl coming over. You want her to be like, "Man, Alex, that man's got his life together. Look at him." You don't have $1 million check.
I don't.
To set out. What do you have? 401k pulled up on the laptop tab?
No, you know how crazy you would look.
I just have on a digital photo frame. It just has the Vanguard 401k.
This is
scrolling
why
through. It's not going to be impressive. I hate to break it to you.
You know, does the frame picture of the Caitlin Clark card do it? He supports women's sports. Made some money off of it.
Oh, and that's the reason.
What works?
I don't know about the nice. All I'll say is like from experience, the really nice clean apartment that's a nice touch. Works. That's always very like people are impressed by how clean the apartment is.
From me, someone said just a clean space. Somebody says from the 913, I just leave out my box of Blue Chews.
No, someone said a box full of Magnums.
Oh,
that's what somebody said. Just leave the box sitting on the
nightstand.
That's crazy.
Just sitting on the nightstand.
That's too forward. You can't just leave the condoms out. That's insane. That's too aggressive of an approach. Now, in fairness, he's saying he's just leaving $1 million check.
Someone
out.
says
Same
Gold
thing.
has the Hallmark movie photo. Just leave that on there.
There you go.
Yeah.
You with a photo, like I've got the photo of you've got a photo of you standing next to Travis Kelce. That framed up on your side table, that work for you?
That'd be weird.
What if it was just on
weird.
I have a photo of me. Other sports photos. What if you had would that work?
I don't really have that stuff in my bedroom though. Like I don't have
we'll take it out to the living room.
in
It
the
doesn't have to be
bedroom.
If you had sports memorabilia, you got I know you have a corner shelf that has a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
If you had a photo of you and him, Travis Kelce spraying champagne, does that work? What's the thing that's going to work here?
Can't put that on the nightstand.
Not on the nightstand. That's
On the
weird.
nightstand.
That's weird.
On the nightstand is making it tough because I think, like what Gold said, a clean space. Maybe you make some dinner. You got some candles lit. You got some jazz music
Some of
playing.
these answers are great.
Someone says an empty box of condoms. That's okay.
Even worse.
Okay.
Somebody from the 816, my Eagle Scout badges. Somebody
Okay,
from the
okay.
620 said my CD is of Cody's greatest hits. Nobody has that
Oh
CD.
my goodness.
One person from the 816 said Drew got a fake Masters scorecard that says I shot a
If we're
76.
trying to hang on. If we're trying to impress, if I'm trying to impress a lady,
this case,
I
yeah.
am not putting a Masters scorecard. Why should they care?
I think
Why-
a clean space might actually be the true answer.
Someone says Taylor Swift ticket stubs.
Oh, hang on a second. That might be a good
Actually,
a good
one
selection.
ticket stub. You don't want to threaten the fact that you went with somebody else.
Yeah, you got to make it seem like you are going as an individual person, as a single man.
You don't want to like multiple ticket stubs. That's implying you took somebody else.
Correct.
Single ticket stub could imply that I went to the concert of my own accord.
Yeah.
There's so many good. The answers have gotten dark.
20 Diamond Club tickets just sitting there on the nightstand.
There you go.
Again, I do not have those for the game tonight. For
Someone
those,
says, I promise you no single female cares about your Eagle Scout badge.
I was
Someone
gonna
else
say-
says, my police badge. They have badge bunnies.
Oh,
is that a thing?
All right. There has
If
to
you
be
had a police badge, that
There's
feels like it
there's
would-
got to be. There's
can't be
gotta
the worst thing.
They just feel protected. Man in uniform. Is that what they're going for here? Is that what they're saying? Okay.
Someone said $2,500.
What's that?
Just 20, just cash.
Someone
Well,
said
that's-
from the 816. Someone said
Just asking to get robbed.
$2,500.
Like, go, you just leave $2,000 out on the night. Let's just ask you to get robbed.
The wildest text we got on this is the empty condom box.
Yeah,
Towards
that
the
is
Taylor
ludicrous.
Swift.
That's ridiculous.
I'm having so much sex before I met you. Box is empty. Don't even need them anymore.
What?
Is it supposed to be a flex? Like that's
not gonna work.
That's not going to work.
Someone says proof that you posted Vern's podcast.
Otherwise, you'll get attacked verbally.
That's a good callback. Thank you.
By the way, I did text
Just a
Vern.
frame
hang
photo
on.
that shows it on Vern's podcast.
I did text Vern a picture. All Vern said was, "Yikes."
Be good.
Someone else says, Drew, don't do the Magnum thing. Oh, sorry. They didn't just say Drew. My apologies. My apologies.
Jeez.
It says, don't do the
Thankfully,
Magnum
I
thing.
don't have to worry about that.
You're just setting them up for disappointment.
Hey, I haven't had to invest in those in some time.
Well, I don't know why we need to review that today.
That could mean a bunch of different things, though, Drew. A bunch of different things.
Well, yeah, you get.
There's a certain amount of sharing we do on the show. And I think sometimes we could rate it in, I don't want to say for sure,
I
but
mean, we share a lot about our personal lives. I appreciate that, Drew.
Yeah, no problem. Look, I already said
all right,
that
that's a random question today.
I already said that I'm going to take care of washing my golf equipment.
Someone says, you're talking about what would you have in your nightstand if you're in your bedroom? Who cares? Well, because Michael Irvin said, that if
He'd
you
leave
missed-
a
you
$1
missed
million
the-
check.
He would leave $1 million check.
Yeah.
He's saying that helped, put it over the finish line, if it were.
I would not leave my Joe Burrow jersey on the nightstand. No.
In Kansas City, that would really work against you, I would think. You left a bunch of Bengals gear up. A clean place has probably got to help. And you've got like a headboard and, sheets.
I honestly think, again, the clean apartment and some candles.
Candles always good.
Good to go.
Someone said,
But you don't want that on the side table. Too close. Too open flame. You want that up on like a dresser.
I have a candle on my nightstand.
On the nightstand? Yeah.
I don't light it while I'm sleeping.
That's no good. I want it like on a higher, less accessible
I have
location.
one, yeah.
someone said their Costco executive membership card.
Costco executive. We can get in before they're open. Wasn't it? There was that viral clip of a guy showing it to a girl like at a sporting event. Remember?
Yes.
He was showing her the
Yes.
Costco card.
He was trying to
Really?
pull.
And she was, oh, dude, the clip is so
yeah,
good.
it's very good.
I'll have to look that up.
I think it might be a TikTok actually.
Oh man, it's
remember.
probably like a year.
Her
probably a
face
year or two
afterwards
old.
was funny.
I don't remember why it was. It's just such a funny video. Gold, you got to watch it in the break now because that one's. If that's what they're referencing, maybe they're just referencing it in general. Someone said good spoons.
That's a good one.
Just leave out my
That's
good
a-
spoons.
That's a really good one.
They don't even bend. High quality.
I can't read the full text, but
No,
someone
you
said,
can't.
did Drew just flex that he's... Yes, he did. Yes. Yes, he did. All right, up next, it's a Fan Club Friday. We've extended an offer for Carrington to join us. He said he
would be in.
All right, he has till 1:10 to show up. He has till 1:10 to show up. We'll also get to our MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year bets next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
This NFL season, FanDuel wants to boost your bets even more. And right now, all customers can double their winnings with a 100% profit boost. That means you can get 2 times the payout on NFL Sunday moneyline bets. Take a look at the Steelers and Jets. Pittsburgh, minus 154 on the money line. The New England Patriots, minus 154 against the Raiders. Or even the Cincinnati Bengals, minus 260 on the money line against Cleveland. So visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get in on the NFL action with a chance to win even bigger. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting up is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hi there, I'm Charlie. And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC. If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help. Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting. Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team. He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days. He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises. Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision. Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Welcome back, sports fans, to yet another year of college and pro football. This is Lucky Lenny here at LennyWin.com. I got 2 big pro football opening weekend winners. Just call 1-800-795-1488. That's 1-800-795-1488. The call is free. The winner is free. It's on a recorded phone line. The winner between Kansas City and L.A., the line right now is Kansas City -3. The total is 46.5. The call is free. The play is free. 1-800-795-1488. Listen, we crushed it last weekend with college matchups, getting the money for us, and we're prepared to slam the sports books again, starting tonight with this huge play between Kansas City and L.A. Call 1-800-795-1488. 1-800-795-1488. You will receive Kansas City, L.A., and also Sunday night, Baltimore, Buffalo. Both winners on a recorded message, absolutely free. 1-800-795-1488. Again, 1-800-795-1488. Get 2 absolutely free bankroll building winners from me, Lucky Lenny, here from Las Vegas at LennyWins.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Again, it's a recorded phone line. You're getting both plays absolutely free on a recorded message. 1-800-795-1488. 1-800-795-1488. start your season a winner.
Paid for by Chris Thomas Sports Incorporated. DBA as LennyWins.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
One o'clock hour on Cody and Gold. It's a Friday, so it's Fan Club Friday. It's a game day. Chiefs, Chargers tonight. Pre-game coverage begins at 4 o'clock. That means drinks. That means means Carrington Harrison only has a 2-hour show today. I will give him credit, though. C-Dot showed up on time.
I said you can't call him a cow for not going to Columbia and then not appear on this show.
He's here. He's wearing his Missouri gear, not Red Friday Chiefs gear. That's okay.
It's not Red Friday to me. It might be Red Friday to you.
Yeah.
They haven't played each other for 14 years. I know you haven't attended any of these games between these two schools of late when they've played each other, but I have been going to these games. So, I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited to get you back on board with supporting KU before basketball season. Normally your KU fandom starts around late night, so I'm happy that you're getting a good start, man. This rivalry has really brought a lot of us together, so I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I also want to let it be known, I know this is the fan club. I am not a fan of this show, nor am I in you guys' club, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, could you guys do me a favor? If someone listening, just text someone you know and tell them to listen to the show. And honestly, if you could text two, please do that as well. If you could, let them know to listen to Cody and Gold.
Is this because of the us revealing the Kiss Cam video?
You know what,
I think our boss did that more than us.
I'm not.
This week started before the Kiss Cam happened. It started Carrington on Tuesday, I think it was. Started throwing out lies, saying he had tickets to the game for me in Columbia, and that I turned it down because I was afraid. And to this minute, at 1:03 on Friday, you have yet to send me my ticket and my parking pass. I called you and said, hey, go ahead. I'll take the tickets and parking pass. You never offered me tickets once this entire week. So that was a lie. And then it built up from there. And then bad luck for you that same night the Kiss Cam rejection happened.
Yeah, this is the thing, Cody, to maybe give you a little bit more of a backstory. Alex knows this person. This person is also a KU alum. I'm starting to think that this was all orchestrated.
That'd be a pretty good plan,
and
wouldn't it?
plotted
That would be
on
sick.
by Alex Gold.
The only way I believe it is a plan is if Alex was on the Kiss Cam with her getting a kiss on Saturday. Because then you just in.
I did have somebody text me and say you should have tried to get on the Kiss Cam the next night with some hot chick and
anybody giving you a kiss on the kiss cam.
Yeah,
that'd be cold behavior.
You set yourself up. Now Drew's been defending you. I will say I don't know why.
So whose side are you on?
He thinks that you weren't trying to get a kiss, and we're like, you admitted to getting denied from the kiss.
Because this is the thing.
Drew's trying to play both sides here.
Drew's the only honest person on this show. I've listened to this show in passing. You know, it's not something I actively do.
He just was a little too honest.
I've listened to it in passing. And Drew he's a stand-up individual. I used to feel that way about Cody, but you know what? Being around you has really changed. Cody and I have always had a great relationship, great friend, somebody I can rely on, depend on. You know, a great Roo. But as he's just,
well, he's part of the University of Missouri school system. So
yeah, but just more and more as he's been around you, it's just it's really corrupted what was a pure soul, good person.
I could have had you come talk to the Clash. You could have talked to a University of Missouri school system Clash.
You never invited me. I'm happy to do it.
You can't talk about lies though when in the text line points out. Has CDOT admitted that he hasn't actually offered Alex the tickets?
I offered you earlier. This is the thing.
No.
Okay, hold on.
You never offered me a pair of tickets once.
Cody, can we at least acknowledge this? If the only way you'll go to the game is for free,
you're changing the goalpost.
You're
moving the goalpost.
really want to go to the game.
I don't think Alex wants to.
You're moving the goalpost. I said I'm not spending any money that goes to the University of Missouri or in Columbia. That is true. That is a fact. I did say that. That is my honest opinion. You have said you offered me tickets because I don't want to go to Columbia, Missouri. I have no interest.
But I guess I just don't understand. Like, it's not like you're going. I would understand if you had a stance of this was Missouri playing Mississippi State. Your team is participating.
Have no reason to go
this
to
is a big game. Yeah. This is the biggest game on your schedule.
You haven't answered the question, though. We just aren't going to get to the answer.
If the previous rivalry between these two teams was always, let's just say it was rated 100 out of 100. It was a great all-time rivalry. 14 years off, where is it now?
This is the thing. We're going to talk about this a little bit more later. Is it's never going to be the same for us, is because we've had 30-something years of memories and back and forth. Like, we have to allow this new generation of Missouri and KU fan to experience the stuff that we had. Like, Alex and I remember what it was like to go to school the day after the Christian Moody.
Sure.
Or go to school.
We remember when they didn't call a foul, right?
I mean, there's players in this rivalry this week saying, "Oh, I didn't even know the historical context." Like, these kids don't know. They were what, 8 years old the last time they played.
Yeah, but we say they don't know. Missouri has played Kansas 4 times over the last 15 years in football or basketball. They have a chant that they do at every game in which it is encouraged for them to chant blank KU. These kids understand that we don't like them. So, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, we just got to allow them to get their own heroes and their own stories and their own memories
But
from
the only way that works is if the games become interesting. There's controversial foul calls. Jalen Daniels goes down and scores a touchdown to win it.
Oh, you mean like beating them in the storm in the court last year? That's what I'm just saying.
No,
like, you're interested in things like that.
It's got to be more.
100%. You got to keep. But I'm saying that only happens over time and you playing each other.
I wish this game was at Arrowhead. Honestly, like, all jokes aside.
Oh, you would go if it was at Arrowhead?
Probably, yeah.
Be there.
Absolutely.
Or if it was in Lawrence.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd be more likely to. I don't want to spend money in Columbia. I've been consistent on that. If it was at Arrowhead, I would 100% be there, though. Yes.
He says, you kind of part-time vacation in Lawrence. He doesn't want to live that life. He doesn't want to be at Shakespeare this weekend.
I don't.
You like to play, but like when Kansas is not playing Missouri, you're a big Kansas guy. You're a big Kansas guy. You're a big fan of Lawrence.
I don't have a problem with Lawrence.
The only time you talk about Missouri is when Kansas is playing Missouri.
Can we just address a couple of things? And I'm happy to come on here and address a couple of things. I am a sports talk radio host. I now get made fun of for going to sporting events. It'd be like if I was a food critic, like, why are you going to eat there? Because that's my job. That's what I do. I enjoy it. It's an activity. And this whole you didn't go to Mizzou. A lot of people.
That's a fact.
But a lot of people listening have never lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and cheer for the Royals or the Chiefs. Well, why?
Pro team is way no, way different.
Because you grew up here.
Yeah, pro team's different.
You know why I cheer for Missouri? Because I grew up in Missouri. So you're saying is I'm less of a fan because I didn't choose to take my English classes at the University
of Missouri. The context again missing.
Okay, you're right.
Missing the context. You can't call someone out for not wanting to support their school. Not going to Columbia when you didn't go to the school. That's if you're just general. If you're not throwing shade about how passionate someone's about their school that they went to, then we're not having the conversation.
Alex, the minute you throw
shots,
to leave with the loss.
The minute you throw shots that way,
to go to Columbia, repping Kansas, and walk out of the stadium with the feeling of my team lost. That's why I think you're afraid to go.
He doesn't even want to spend money in Columbia. He talks
I can't
about
believe Rob is spending 2 nights in Columbia. He's going there tonight.
Because Rob's real KU.
Wow.
True KU, tried and true. He's not afraid to walk into the Lions Den. I can't wait to go to Lawrence next year in my Mizzou stuff.
Yeah, you didn't go to
MIZ after a touch. I can't wait. That's part of being a fan of the team. That's why you cheer for the team.
I gotta
go
say,
to their
some
stadium
of this
is gonna be
and celebrate when we beat you guys.
You are setting up for some bad heartbreak if for whatever reason Kansas wins on Saturday. This one's gonna hurt.
You've even though you've still ignored multiple questions. You've ignored multiple questions. That's fine. But I would say
I learned from this show.
I would say
I listen every day.
No, just in general with like where the rivalry is at and going to Columbia or not going to Columbia and everything like that. I do think, for Kansas fans, this game, this go around, because their quarterback the first 2 weeks as well has looked very, very good. Like they got a legit shot to win this football game. This is not the same Kansas football team if they were playing 6 years ago, if they were playing 7 years ago. Like Missouri's 6.5-point favorites. I think
that's actually too big of a number.
Oh, you do agree? Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be like 3.5.
I think it's a much closer game than that. I think these teams, overall roster-wise, Missouri has the edge.
I think a noticeable edge. I think Missouri is
quarterback.
Clearly more
Kansas
talented.
has the better quarterback. I don't think there's
I'm not 100% convinced on that.
Okay, that's fair.
Not 100%. I mean, I actually think both Rebulis, I think they're pretty comparable in a lot of ways. I actually think Kansas's biggest advantage is I think that Eli Drinkwitz has an advantage Monday through Friday. I'm not really sure if Missouri has a noticeable advantage on the sideline on Saturday. Like I think Lance Leipold,
he's not a good in-game coach.
I think Lance Leipold is a really, really good coach. So if you were telling me in a rivalry game, which I think we just saw yesterday between the Cowboys and the Eagles, like if you put those two teams together, one team just ends up playing a little bit better than you think, and it ends up being a close game, a little bit closer than people expect. Like that's kind of how I think this game is. I think it's a 27-20, 27-24, close in the fourth quarter. Missouri makes one or two plays because they're at home. I think it's that kind of game.
College football, the home atmosphere holds a lot of weight.
Yeah, absolutely it does. It's a game changer. Game day should be there for this game tomorrow.
Because
insane.
The home crowds are intense, and they make it difficult for the opposing team and fan base.
You're about to sound like Drew. We got to have whiteouts at Arrowhead, otherwise the atmosphere is no good.
Yeah,
that's his stance, by the way. He thinks that Arrowhead needs to have whiteouts.
No, I didn't.
I know.
I said it would be cool if the Chiefs debuted new uniforms and they did a whiteout, or if they debuted all black uniforms. They handed out black shirts to everybody. They did a blackout crowd. I think that would be
Why do you guys let Drew
cool.
talk on the show?
Hey, you know what? See, now we get that question all the time.
Why do you guys let Drew talk?
He got kicked off his K-State fandom, which he adopted
You guys are
immediately
running
after
the
getting
tight
here.
ship over here.
He's bounced around. We got in a whole heated argument week ago about this whole thing.
Do you
He
think
thinks that
Arrowhead.
He's never been to Arrowhead. Talking about going to games. He's never been to Arrowhead. And he's talking about how they need to do T-shirt giveaways and stripe
Alex,
the stadium.
you're not putting your man on. You got a residency at Arrowhead. You're not putting your man on.
We have offered plenty of opportunities to go.
Oh, he doesn't want to go?
Hang on, C-Dot. If you're going to call me out for not going to Arrowhead, I've been to more Wisconsin Badger games than you've been to KU games this year, Gold.
I was in Las Vegas for their home game.
I have been to more Wisconsin Badger. I traveled to Madison.
So a couple things.
I love start infighting on other people's shows.
Hold on. Let me address real quick. Once again, incorrect things are being thrown out.
Alex,
Shocker.
You are fair weather for KU. That's fine.
That's not what it is at all.
No one's mad that you're fair weather.
You said the same thing yesterday on your show. You said Gold wasn't at the opening of the new booth.
That's a fact.
I was, what I was doing, Carrington? I was working on a trip. We were out of town. I was doing radio shows in Las Vegas that day. I was on a flight back. It was not physically possible for me to be at that game.
I'm telling you,
that's a fact, not a pass. That's a fact.
I'm telling you right now.
And Drew can go to a bunch of stadiums. If I had 10 schools to pick from, I also would make it to a game.
Drew made it to one Wisconsin game in 30 years of life, and he's like, I win.
I said, hey.
Drew did jump around one time.
Yeah. He's like,
He's been jumping around fan bases.
Alex had to watch the Turner Gill era at Lawrence. I don't think we have to put him down that bad.
Hey, in fairness, I've never lived in Madison. I've had to drive minimum 7 hours to get to where I'm going.
But you went. whatever. We're not going down this road. You went to Butler, but whatever. Anyway.
I did say
hang on, just the same as CDOT didn't go to. You can root for a team that you didn't go to. It is possible.
I'll at least give Carrington, I can't believe I'm about to say this, credit that he has one school he likes.
I only like Wisconsin, but I wear other schools' gear because I think it's cool. I don't understand what the problem is. Like if I have Butler University gear, if they play Wisconsin, I'm rooting for the Wisconsin Badgers because I've always been that fan. I've been a Wisconsin Badger fan longer than I have been a Butler
just
Bulldog.
mad 2K's not going to put UMKC
Thank
in
you.
the game, you know?
I
I'm
love
not even
college
gonna get
football.
Drew, why don't you come over to the drive where you'll be appreciated? Because I'm not sure if you're being appreciated here.
I'm appreciated by Alex and Cody.
Maybe Cody.
No, I told you, I'm mad that 2K is not even going to have UMKC in there. Oh, we're just going to do 100 schools.
That is
you leaving out the room?
Wait, ridiculous. What's going on?
2K.
Okay.
NCAA dropped out of the college basketball game. They said they're not going to do it. So 2K is the only one that's going to have it. And they said, we'll do like 100 schools.
Well, that's not.
They're calling it a college basketball
line.
experience is what they're calling it. It's the dumbest thing.
UMKC is getting left out.
Which is preventing EA from doing, they're not able to do a game at all because 2K is paying enough schools where they're like, yeah, we want to stay with 2K instead of be a part
This
of the
show's going to
EA
go to a
game. It's
Roos
mess.
game this year. You want to come?
You know what? I'm not surprised that Alex is going to go to a Roos game before he goes to a KU game. I'm not surprised. I'm
I
telling
didn't
you.
say he wouldn't get to a KU game first.
I'm going to the West Virginia game. What are we doing?
Oh, you already know. I wasn't sure.
Going to the KU West Virginia game. I couldn't. For those asking, why did I go to the Wagner game? Other than the fact that it was Wagner, is the fact that last Friday I was invited with some friends to go to the Royals game weeks and weeks ago. So I have plenty of reasons why I didn't make it to the first two games.
We asked this. The Royals are only 2 games back of wild card spot after the win yesterday.
They could have been up in the wild card if they just take care of business.
So
against the Angels.
this is an absolutely brutal night. You got a Friday night, but you got to go up against the Chiefs. First game of the season. I said, how many people in Kansas City do you think if you offered them 20 Crown Club seats for their friends and family would go to the game tonight versus watch the Chiefs game?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people. If you're telling me, like, I would say if you're turning down the Crown Club, then you just simply haven't been to the Crown Club. Like, we're not talking about the Diamond Club or right behind the dugout. Like, if you offer me Crown Club for me and my friends
tonight, you're going?
I will. It's week 1 of the NFL regular season. You know what? I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll watch it later. I got no problem watching it later.
You just watch it on DVR,
And you guys already know, in the Crown Club, you can go inside whenever you want and watch television. Oh, the Chiefs on
but
in there.
You'd want to be just sitting in there the whole time watching the Chiefs game, though. So then you're not watching the Royals game at all at that point, you know?
It is early September, and we think the Chiefs are going to play until late January. I will happily, if you guys can set that up right now, we can do this experiment right now. I will take the 20 Crown Club
this actually goes back to like the very beginning of the whole argument about going to games or not. Like, truthfully, some of this is, and I think you've even said this on your show in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like when it comes to college sports, that's where you're more of like a true fan. You view like your job and everything a little bit differently on the NFL and stuff. And so for me, I am way more of an NFL fan than I ever have been as a college fan.
Yeah,
that's just different. And like just like Drew, he's more of a college football guy than an NFL guy. That's fine. So some of that also goes back to this whole weekend thing as well. Like way more into not missing a single snap of a Chiefs game than I ever have been for a dribble of a KU basketball game or a KU football game. That's just the reality for me.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I mean, I haven't been to a Chiefs game since before COVID. I mean,
there you go. So it's just reversed. So it's the same thing.
The Chiefs hadn't won a Super Bowl the last time. I don't really have much of a desire to go to NFL games. I think it's like some of it is, it's such a time commitment to go to an NFL game. And if you make the decision to go to one NFL game, you have basically said, I don't want to watch any of the other games today. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to kind of keep up with the league. Where with college, to me, I don't know. I still really, really enjoy it. And like I tell you this all the time, like on a personal, professional level, I don't have any issues with Kansas. Like their basketball program has always been great to me. The football program has always been great to me in the show.
Just fans.
I don't like their fans at all. Like not even a little bit. In fact, I want their fan base to experience unhappiness at every single turn. I want KU to miss the NCAA tournament. I want them to finish 7th in the Big 12. And I want you to miss bowl games. Yes, not because I'm rooting against the 19-year-olds. It's because I like what that means to Alex Gold when he has to come on here and explain. That's what warms my spirit.
Well,
last year,
the feeling is definitely
7th seed in basketball and knowing that basketball wasn't fun for you last year. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same feeling I had when last year you thought Missouri was going to the college football playoff, and they didn't. And by week 4, you were screwed. I enjoy the same thing. And like how confident you are about tomorrow. I can't wait to see your reaction. In fact, we've seen it before, though.
I mean, you could see my reaction if you went to the game, but...
No, I'm sure they'll put you up on the Jumbotron and embarrass you that way instead.
They do a kiss cam at Missouri games?
I don't even... no, I don't think they do, actually. Oh, I don't know.
Probably a good idea in Columbia. You don't want to do a kiss cam there. That's probably a good idea.
I still feel like I was set up. Sabotaged.
I love this segment. This has been so much fun. Like, and it just
There's a lot of hate Missouri and Kansas, man. It goes way
dig
back.
After dig.
Drew said he didn't realize until he's a huge college fan. He said he didn't realize until he got here how big
rivalry. I didn't realize how much people genuinely hate each other.
I think when you go back to the Civil War, that speaks enough for the rivalry.
I agree.
By the way,
makes sense.
How's the documentary coming? Tell people again if they don't know.
I also want to point out that I asked Alex to be in the doc. He declined to be in the doc.
I mean, if you want me to really pull back the curtain?
Cody, did you not see when I asked him the one day to be in?
You didn't ask if he could record that day, but
I don't
remember
really,
anything.
You want me to really
that.
pull back the curtain?
What happened?
You asked last minute, hey, in 3 hours, can you meet me somewhere? The same way you asked Fesco.
No, that's not what
you
happened.
asked Fesco as well. You asked us to come on a Friday night in the middle of training camp at 7:30 to meet you somewhere to record something, to talk about how much I hated Missouri.
It was before then, and I just kind of like this. I didn't really get the sense that you really wanted to do it. You know, like
I didn't.
Usually,
you thought it was a courtesy.
Yeah, usually it's just like a hey, we need you to do something. Like when when Cody asked me to come on the fan club, I didn't come up with the it's during show prep time. No, because I'm a
Carrington, this is the first time we've gotten you on
a.
a fan club in months because you usually have bailed on us.
I'm a team player.
In fairness, Briscoe's doing half your work today, so you're getting off easy today.
Yeah, that's what today I had nothing but free time. Happy to do it. You know, I moved my schedule around to be sure that I could be here.
I was like, you got nowhere to be.
Hey, so you guys aren't doing the Hooters bet. Text line wants to know if you guys.
I don't even know nothing about Hooters.
No.
The Hooters came out of nowhere. You guys doing a Hooters bet?
No,
on the show, my original.
But the original point.
If the Bengals miss the playoffs, Drew has to wear that Hooters outfit. If they make the playoffs, Cody and I have to wear it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm taking off that day. I don't care what's happening in the schedule.
You want in?
I'll tell you right now, if you want to see the happiest Alex Cole's ever been in his entire life,
more than Drew in a Hooters outfit.
More than
yeah, probably.
more than
ship are you running here, Cody?
More than when he got the Caitlin Clark card. If Kansas beats Missouri on Saturday and the Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Cleveland Browns on Sunday,
it's not even KU
Alex
winning.
is going to come in here clicking his heels.
Losing.
He's going to be the happiest man on the planet.
I'm not going to be here on Monday if they lose. I'm dead serious.
He already scheduled.
Drew's going to be passing out Blue Chew on the corner just to get Carrington to get into work. That's what's going to happen.
What's happened in the last 2 minutes? I don't know.
I was just talking.
No,
about
not you. These two individuals here. Now he's out here pushing Blue Chew.
Drew is. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Chew it and do it. See that?
Okay. I'm with you. Chew it and do it. After that, you know what? You should go to Heartland Men's Health with area locations. You should go check them out.
It's going to keep throwing in different things.
Should we just all see how many people we have?
Are you going to go watch the game at the other place with 5 area locations?
I will not be there.
Okay. If you want
it's a great spot.
If you want me to set it up, I can set it up for you.
I will not. I will not be there, but I am going to watch it at a bar. I am going to watch.
You tell me where you want to go.
I will be watching it at a bar. But
are you going to bet on FanDuel?
I will actually.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
I'll drive the Ford F-150.
I'm on the Missouri side. I can use that underdog today.
Oh, that's a
on
good
my
one.
couch watching the Chiefs tonight.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Okay, well,
right now?
you know,
I'm not
when you're
gonna
watching the
use
game, make sure you have Daisy Dip. Okay, just make sure. I want to make sure that you have some.
I mean, company man. You know.
That's. If there's one thing I've been known for, it's I'm always pushing for the company.
This is now an above board show. You know, maybe not for a while, but we are now. We follow the rules.
How long did that take?
5 years and 3 months.
Yeah,
5 years.
Just making sure.
Honestly, it's out of nowhere. Nothing happened.
Just making sure.
Recorded it.
I wasn't sure.
Just decided we wanted to follow the rules.
I was going to give you a chance, but if you don't want it, to talk about the doc, if you want to plug it.
You know what? I would just like to come back in a different setting just for a more prolonged period of time and really talk to you about the process.
Prolonged? You've been in for 23 minutes?
I really wish that
How
you
much
could have
time
been
do
a
you
part
want?
of it. I just wanted people who were passionate KU fans to just on camera tell us why they hate Missouri. And when you declined, I really started to question if this was even real to you. Like I was starting to question how much this rivalry meant to you. it means a lot to me. You know, I think that Kansas City is very important in the rivalry between Missouri and Kansas just because of where we live and the city's demographics. And, you know, I wanted a sports talk radio expert to come on. And when someone who I considered a friend, I consider Alex a friend. We've had plenty of conversations on and off the air. When he just looked at me and said, "No, I don't want to be in your documentary," it did hurt a little bit.
Yeah. It hurt when you said you had free tickets for me and never sent it to me. Still waiting. Thank you, C-Dot, for coming in.
I appreciate you. Thanks so much for having me.
Have fun at the game tomorrow.
Cody, I see why
Stay off the Kiss Cam. Be careful this weekend.
Cody, I see why you've had so many back issues carrying the show for years. It's a Michael Porter back. You got a back like Tracy McGrady.
We had, by the way, for
the whole family now.
Greg Oden back.
For full disclosure, we had a schedule C-Dot through Rob. That's where we're at these days. Carrington has an assistant. We have to go through Rob in order to talk to Carrington. I think Rob's carrying a lot of the load there.
I at least want to clarify.
What?
During the football season, Rob and I just have it. Rob, if anybody needs me to do something, just coordinate it with you because you booked the interview. So you know, all right, hey, you got to record with this person at this time. It's just easier for me. It's easier for Rob. We don't have a miscommunication. I just tell anybody, if you want me to do something during the football season, just ask Rob. That's it. So don't make it seem like,
You can't schedule your own stuff.
He's my producer. He produces my life.
You're not your secretary.
He produces my life. Yeah, he produces.
He wants him over to load the dishwasher.
Yeah. He produces my life.
Hey,
I'm telling you, I tell anybody this. If you want me to do something during football season, just ask Rob.
Hey, Alex and Cody, tonight, while we're watching the Chiefs game, can you guys come over and help me, Swiffer the floor and clean my dishes a little bit with me while I make some food or something?
My goodness. That was actually why I didn't go on your doc. You forgot to talk to Drew. He schedules my documentary appearances.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. No, it makes sense. I get it.
Easy mistake.
I get
All right,
it.
that's C-Dot.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
At 2 o'clock to The Drive with C-Dot and Rob. Up next, we will get to what's trending. We'll give more of our predictions for tonight's game. Final thoughts, Chiefs-Chargers, next here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's Creed Humphrey. You're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays 10 to 2 on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Obviously, there will be football played tonight. Kansas City will be in action, and one of my favorite things to do in the fall is sit outside on my deck to watch the game. Get a drink, hang out, relax in my big screen porch so that you can have a chance to watch the game and spend some time outside. Maybe you've just been looking at your outside area and you're like, I want to build my dream deck. Let All Weather Decks build that for you. They are a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Awards. You can see pictures of all of their fantastic work over on their website right now. Maybe you need some inspiration for what you want that fire pit area to look like, that new deck to look like. They'll give you some inspiration. Maybe you already have in your head what you think that dream deck or screen porch could look like. They will take care of all of those things for you. Wood deck, composite deck, covered patios, pergolas, fire pits, and so much more. And they'll schedule a free estimate for you today so you can start having that dream space for yourself. Schedule an estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net.
Has your home been on the market without success? An expired listing can feel frustrating, but it doesn't have to be the end of your journey. The Sharp Homes team specializes in turning things around. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Well, contact them to discuss their instant offer program. If I needed to sell my home, Dawn Sharp, brokered by Epic Realty, would be the only agent I would trust. Google Sharp Homes team. That's Sharp Homes team. Google them today.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-814-1500. That's 800-814-1500. 800-814-1500.
I'm Jace Brown, and Canes fuels my game.
The Wildcats and their fans are some of the most dedicated in football. It's a quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Canes. One Love, official partner of K-State Athletics.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
We'll get to our MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year bets, final thoughts tonight in just a second. I know we're not going to do an official what's trending, but if you missed it, the kind of the story out of Brazil today is just to keep an eye on Mekhi Becton, the guard for the Chargers, who popped up on the injury report. He's now questionable with an illness, so I know we still got hours till kickoff, but definitely will be a story inside of 90 minutes or so when the actives and inactive list comes out for both teams. If you're following us on social media, you can see our station account with our Chiefs Radio Network guys on the ground in Sao Paulo, Brazil. You can see some of the field conditions. We won't know until they're actually like running on the field. Visually, from right there on the field, yeah, it looks great, but we won't know until they're actually, you know, their cleats are in the ground and
until they start running around on it a little. I mean, look, I'd love to just tell you I'm not worried in any conceivable way, but yeah, I'm a little worried. I think it's fair to be a little bit worried. The field conditions in Brazil last year were pretty bad. The Chiefs had an entire game in Mexico City canceled over field conditions before.
It was like
obviously we've seen other moments in which it's become an issue. So we'll see which version of it they get. I hope it's in pretty good shape. But yeah, the Mekhi Becton thing it's worth noting that he was a last minute pop-up because of an illness. And at the very least, I think you and I both know that sometimes those illnesses, Gold, even if you get on the field, you just don't play the same. Same energy, same strength. Like, those things are easier said than done. They can pump you full, but, it's just kind of a little bit different.
Don't forget, Sports Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with a Week 1 matchup between Detroit and Green Bay, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $2.50 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. All right, let's get into some of our year-long futures, and then we'll get final thoughts on Chiefs-Chargers tonight. start with MVP and how you guys see that market and the path. I mentioned Lamar Jackson is the favorite right now to win MVP. A lot of people thought he should have been MVP last year. That's part of it. He also, of course, is as dynamic as anybody in the sport.
He had a tremendous year.
How do you view the MVP market this year?
So I am going to predict Mahomes wins it.
Okay.
For the same reasons that we just mentioned before. I think he is going to have a little bit of the narrative on his side of things because it's been long enough since he won it. It's not like Andy Reid and Coach of the Year. That is still an award that Patrick Mahomes can win. Same rules apply. You and I both know this. Better be winning your division.
Mm-hmm.
Better be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Better, like that version of it. That kind of makes me interesting. I could see it maybe being Jordan Love if the Packers were like the 1 seed is like a long shot. I think Mahomes is going to win it. If you made me go outside of there, I'd just go to the same 3 guys, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. Whichever. I think the Ravens are winning the division, so I wouldn't bet Burrow, but that version of it would probably be my next 2 choices.
Right. So, look, I do think Mahomes is going to be able to have a statistical season that puts him in play for this. Josh Allen, I would stay away from 5-1. It's happened before, but it's very rare to win back-to-back MVP.
I mean, they just robbed Lamar. I still think Lamar could have won it last year.
It's very difficult. It obviously has happened in the last 15 years, in the last 10 years, but usually you shy away from repeat winners. Yes, you have to win your division. So we did our picks earlier. That means that takes Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, out of the conversation for me based on division. I told you my long shot play is Baker at 27-1. That's not like my first choice.
I still like that, though. A lot of weapons.
For MVP, I don't think you should only have one bet. But if for the sake of this conversation, one guy, I also will go with Mahomes. But I have a sprinkle on Baker at 27-1. And I also do think it's worth keeping an eye on C.J. Stroud, just because if that offensive line gets better in a bounce-back campaign, can he get you there? I don't think he has enough weapons with the injuries in the wide receiver room.
Nico's great, though. Nico's one of the underrated wide receivers, one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. That's why I said Love, is that if they win 13 games, 14 games on the NFC side, he can put up enough counting stats that they'll want to consider him. Some years the MVP is won by the guy who gets 31 touchdowns, 4,300 yards, and limits the interception. Some years it's won by somebody who has 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. It's just hard to predict which year it is.
The voters would have to go against basically their thought process for years. Like if it'd almost have to be pure sympathy again in back-to-back years. If Burrow won it and didn't win the division and he puts up the insane numbers again,
he wasn't even close to winning.
But if they were a playoff, they weren't a playoff team. So
if the other 2 quarterbacks were more mediocre, maybe Burrow would have a chance. But the other 2 quarterbacks were just as good.
Who would your MVP bet be, Drew, for the season?
I would bet Joe Burrow just because I think the offense is so loaded that if he has the same sort of season, he had a better season all around from a statistical standpoint, which we know that award is, than Josh Allen. The same with Lamar Jackson. That's why I thought Lamar should have won it last year. But I think Joe Burrow, if they get in the playoffs, I think it'll be because of Joe Burrow and that offense. So I have the Ravens winning the division, but I think they have a similar type of record where maybe this is if the defense is as bad as they are and he's still that good, then I think that might be some sort of an outlier. I would bet Joe Burrow, but Lamar would be my next one.
I had to put up massive numbers twice.
What about Coach of the Year? So last year, for those that remember, it was Kevin O'Connell. The year before, it was Stefanski. The year before that, it was Brian Dable. How do we view Coach of the Year? I'll give you the odds just so people listening know kind of some of the names at the top of the Coach of the Year market. Ben Johnson is the favorite this year.
Make the playoffs
plus 650. Vrabel plus 750. Liam Cohen 10-1. Aaron Glenn 11-1. Pete Carroll 14-1. Also Mike McDonald, Gannon, and Canales in that same 14-1 category. We all know how the Coach of the Year award works. Number 1, you got to win a bunch of games. Number 2, you got to overachieve. Number 3,
if you can't be Andy Reid.
If you are, more than that, like repeat winners again do not happen for Coach of the Year. So go ahead and cross off Sean McVay, John Harbaugh, Brian Dable, Kevin Stefanski, Kevin O'Connell. Go ahead.
He's already won it twice.
And I know, but it's just not happening. Expectations, you mentioned it. Like Andy Reid cannot win the award. Kyle Shanahan, I think there's an outside chance, but usually no.
The Stafford part of the storyline helps him a little because people are maybe a little down on him, but I don't think
Nick Sirianni cannot win Coach of the Year this year.
No.
So what I'm saying is you can narrow this down ultimately. I mentioned a name to you guys yesterday briefly. Brian Schottenheimer, if you think they overachieve, and overachieving for him is only getting to 10 or 11 wins. If it gets to 10 wins, he's in play at 30-1. I don't hate it as a flyer pick, but my final bet on this would be actually somebody that we were doing our coaching, rankings on and everything as well.
Kevin O'Connell?
No, Kevin O'Connell, it's a tough thing for him to win this year as well. Kevin O'Connell won it last year, not going back to back.
Yeah, it's true. I think so. Who were you saying was your pick?
D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans. I know it's one of the bigger favorites for a reason, but I went back to what we did our divisional picks on. I predicted that in the playoffs, that the number 7 seed in the AFC side was the Tennessee Titans. And if I think Cam Ward and those guys are going to do it, so I like Vrabel because I also had the Patriots in there as well, right? So they would be on my list a little bit. So Vrabel would be the favorite guy I would choose. But if you made me choose a long shot, like you're talking 30-1, why not Callahan? If the Titans make the playoffs goal, that is far exceeding any expectation anybody has for them. All they have to do is physically make the playoffs, make Cam Ward look semi-decent. And for a guy who's got the same odds as the people who can't win the award, Dan Campbell, Harbaugh, Sirianni, Reed, the guys who are so far down the list they have no chance, why wouldn't I? If I think they got a chance to make the playoffs, put a sprinkle in on that. So Vrabel would be the first one because I think the Patriots are making the playoffs. And then I'd probably just go down to the Titans head coach, Callahan, for the second. Let's throw a flyer on it. Pick.
Drew?
Based on my playoff picks, I feel like Liam Cohen or Dave Canales would be my choice because I think the Carolina Panthers make it and the Jags make it. Maybe Canales just because I would say the Panthers are probably less likely.
He's a long shot, too.
Than Liam Cohen. I think you said 14-1 on the odds. Gold, which is with that group of people who are towards the bottom half. So I'll say Canales is a good long shot. I think that I would take Liam Cohen. I think actually because if Canales is more of a dark horse, but if I have more confidence that the Jaguars I think will make the playoffs than the Panthers. So I'll say Liam Cohen. I think it was 8-1. So in that,
they'd love to vote for the Golden Boy. I'll say. If Trevor Lawrence looks a lot better than he has gold and they're a playoff team out of nowhere, Cohen will have a pretty good chance.
What are the trends with the division? So is the division winner trend not the same as with the MVP with Coach of the Year? Because it's an overachieving thing, right? If the Patriots make it, they're not going to win the division. Vrabel's in play to win it. He doesn't have to win the division for him to.
No,
ultimately
Coach of the Year, you could be
it.
the 7th seed. It's just it's expectation versus reality. If people think you're a 2-win team and you win 9-10 games, congratulations on Coach of the Year. If they think you're a 5-win team and you win 10, you got a really good shot.
It's basically a most improved team award.
Pretty much. It's the lowest expectations and the highest way you end up. So that's why I'm saying I like the Titans bet or I like the
I get
Schottenheimer,
Ben,
whatever.
Usually the favorite doesn't win Coach of the Year is a tricky thing. Ben Johnson, I think they're a wild card team. That might be good enough for him to win it, actually. It's just typically the Coach of the Year market shifts so much. It's even more volatile than MVP. Mm-hmm. It's just very interesting. I actually love betting on Coach of the Year. All right. What
Last
about
one, Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year. We know there's only one quarterback to really worry about. Jackson Dart's not going to play enough, I don't believe, to be in the running for this. So that means it's maybe a little more wide open. But Cam Ward doesn't have to do a whole lot to win this because he is a quarterback.
For the same reason I mentioned Callahan. If you're making me pick the Rookie of the Year, I think it's Cam Ward. If you made me choose outside of that, I would say Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is going to get to play an offensive position, easier to win Rookie of the Year anyway. And if he has 930 yards, but also managed to pick the ball off 3 times, even though it has nothing to do with playing offense, and I think you agree with this goal. We've talked about this. They're just going to want to kind of vote for him because he played both.
Yes, I think that is something that's going to be in the mind of everybody. Even though we are talking about the offensive Rookie of the Year, they're going to give him the benefit of the defensive stuff for offense. That's why it's a good play on Hunter if you're worried about that 12-1. Genty's the favorite. Cam Ward's the second best odds at plus 290. Amari and Hampton running back tonight. If he has a huge showcase against the Chiefs on YouTube,
he'll go up.
7.5-1 will become 2-1 or something. I'm going to go with chalk here, though. I think Ashton Genty's going to have 1,200 yards, and I believe if he has 1,200 yards, unless Cam Ward is pretty good, then that's my play. There's a bunch of guys you can actually go with for this market. I think it is wide open. So I know we're asking for one name, so I'll give you one name as Genty, but with the acknowledgement that I would sprinkle some money on Travis Hunter at 12-1. I also think Ted McMillan and the rapport there with Bryce Young looks good in preseason. At 12-1, I don't hate it.
Drew, Rookie of the Year? And then we'll talk some Chiefs.
I will say Cam Ward as well if I had to pick somebody, but I think Travion Henderson might be a sneaky name to watch just for the same reason that you guys are saying. Just he's going to split carries with Ramondre Stevenson to start off with, and then eventually I think he might just take over because he's that good. So Travion Henderson maybe is some money, a guy I'd throw some money on.
He's 14-1. That's a look at the awards market heading into week 1 of the NFL season. All right, let's talk Chiefs. Chiefs-Chargers, 7 o'clock kickoff from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Pre-game coverage begins at 4 right here on 96.5 The Fan with the Chiefs Radio Network. We mentioned some of the storylines. We all know them heading into this game, right? Everybody wants to see what Josh Simmons looks like. Everybody wants to see if the deep passing game is there and everything. But in general, where's your confidence at going up against a Chargers team that did win 11 games last year? They are missing Rashawn Slater, but it's year 2 for Harbaugh.
I think that it's been underplayed, what I had mentioned earlier in the show. They did not beat anyone of consequence besides the Denver Broncos last year. So you're like, wow, they really made a nice turnaround under year 1 of Harbaugh, which is something he's historically very good at. I don't love their offensive weapons outside of Ladd McConkey and maybe Amari and Hampton. I'd like to see him play a snap before I make a decision on that, because I remember the hype of guys like Najee Harris, who's also on their roster as a rookie running back going into this thing. I don't think their defensive line is particularly strong. So, I just think the Chiefs are the better team. It's a neutral site game. I think the Chiefs are the better team. It's a divisional game, so I don't expect it to be a blowout or anything tonight. But I think the Chiefs win. I think that they're, maybe not comfortably, but the better team will come out ahead in the end. I fear the normal stuff. The Chiefs won't be able to stop the run, and Hampton will run all over them. Or their new-look defensive backfield, they'll just figure out a way to move Ladd McConkey around and put him on a guy who can't cover him. Because if he's on any corner besides really Trent McDuffie, I'm worried about the coverage of Ladd McConkey. So, that part of it scares me, but I like the Chiefs to win.
And the Chargers are familiar with Christian Fulton, right? He came over, so they're familiar. They're familiar with Tillery as well. So there's a couple of pieces that they know well. I am confident in this game because of the layoff, number 1. We all know this, week 1 openers. Yes, Jim Harbaugh is 5-0 straight up and all this in week 1 games across the tenure of his NFL career. But Andy Reid's 8-2 or something like that in season openers as a head coach of the Chiefs,
right, or whatever it was.
8-2, 10-2. I don't know.
How many years has he been the head coach? Well,
it's
2025. He took over the job, and I think it's 10-2.
Is it 10-2?
Yeah, I think it's 10-2.
Point being, he also performs well in these showcases. Andy, 8-4 against the spread, 10-2 straight up. There you go. In season openers. So I think they're no question about being prepared, no question about that. They've gone through these international games enough. This is not going to throw them off, even if it was a 12-hour flight.
It's weird to open a season, though, I'll say.
Yeah, but shouldn't that be less of a problem? Because everybody should not be worn down. Everybody's healthy other than Jalen Royals, basically, heading into this game. He didn't make the trip, as we know. I think we have to understand it's week 1. I'm sure on Monday there will be something, even in a winning effort, where oh man, I'm concerned. Maybe they give up 100 yards on the ground to Hampton or something and they still win.
Maybe the secondary looks
whatever
weak.
It may be. It's not going to be a perfect game. I'm so excited for the offense because I am convinced that
even without Rashid tonight,
I am. I'm still because they're better positioned still than what they were for 95% of last year, even without Rice. Yeah, we'll all be excited by week 8 and 7 when hopefully, if Brown is still healthy, they have everybody. But Kelsey, final year most likely, slimmed down, wants to prove people wrong that said he's done. You got Isaiah Pacheco out here talking about the revenge tour. He's fully healthy for the first time in a couple years. Hollywood Brown is healthy in week 1 for the first time in a Chiefs uniform. Xavier Worthy's no longer a rookie. He had a lot of momentum at the end of last season. Josh Simmons, as I said, I think they have their left tackle of the future. He can give Mahomes the confidence he needs to take some time, to take some shots down the field. Plus, I just know that Andy Reid, in terms of formations and scheme, you give him a whole offseason, there will be some stuff the Chargers have just not seen because nobody has seen the Chiefs with the grouping of, Brown heading into week 1 with this offense altogether. I understand in the postseason Brown was available, but nobody has really seen Worthy, Brown, and a Kelsey at hopefully a healthy level in a game. There's not a ton of film of that out there.
I will say Xavier Worthy is probably in the top 5 players I'm most interested to see what they do this year. Players. Simmons is obviously at the top of most people's list for the obvious reasons. These are Xavier Worthy's last 5 or 6 games as a Chief. 8 for 157 and 2 in the Super Bowl. We understand that was kind of in a blowout. Though against Buffalo, 6 for 85 and a touchdown, 5 for 45 against Houston in a game that they didn't even need him that much, 8 for 79 in a score in the last regular season game against Pittsburgh, 7 for 65 and a touchdown against Houston. He was acting like a number 1 wide receiver for the whole last 7-8 games of the year for Kansas City. So, I assume they'll lean on him quite a bit. But, Xavier Worthy's one of those players that if there's more there, if he gets better, like players do in year 2, if there's more there, Well, then their wide receiver duo, once Rashee Rice gets back, could be dangerous. Really dangerous.
All right, who are your touchdown plays tonight? Obviously, from betting angle, I think our social media channel will have some of our bets on there as well. I've told you all show, I like Pacheco quite a bit tonight. I think he's going to have a great game. I like Pacheco to find the end zone, plus 190. I think there's a chance he finds it twice at 13-1. Juju Smith-Schuster, I believe, over his 18.5 receiving yards, because I think this early in the year, they will lean on the vet a little bit, and then maybe by week 5, he's just not going to play as much, even while Rice is out. But tonight, it wouldn't surprise me if 3 catches, 45 yards, 35 yards, something like that for Juju.
Kelsey's over 50.5.
You like it?
Well, first off, he averages 68 yards a game against the Chargers in his career. In 2 games last year, Travis Kelce had a bad year last year, right? By his standard.
Yep.
Not by almost any other tight end standards. In one of the games, he had 97 yards against them. And in the other one, he was still over that total that I just mentioned at 50.5. So Travis over 50.5 yards was minus 108 as of this morning when I looked at it. So that's pretty high on my list. I also happen to have a bet on Xavier Worthy first touchdown. I think Worthy's getting in the end zone.
He's going to get a touchdown.
They like
tonight.
using him in and around.
He had a
the end
receiving
zone,
touchdown in 46% of their games, including the postseason last year. Plus, he has a chance to get one on the ground as well. So yeah, I kind of like.
I like Worthy to get in the end zone. You don't have to bet it for a first touchdown, but I do like it. Yeah.
Drew, you got any bet or just player you think's in for a big night?
There's one that I like in particular. So Cody, you just mentioned Xavier Worthy and the numbers that he had. His over-under is 5.5 receptions, plus 125 to go over. I think that's great because no Rashee Rice. I think he's going to be utilized a lot in this game.
He did 5 of his last 6 games last year.
Yeah, it feels like him continuing to grow as a wide receiver that we see in this system, and you have Rashee Rice out. I think for plus 125, that's great value for over 5.5 receptions for Xavier Worthy today.
It's so crazy. He did that 0 times. All the way through week 13, and then he did it 5 of the last 6 games he played at the end of the year. But that's also when he had more time to develop into the type of receiver they needed him to be. He's a huge reason we undersell.